Someone's really short, are they?
Yeah, they have like 100.
Which is about the same as him. He's got a bit more.
Yeah, he's got more.
I'm saying on the bubble, we're not getting up and around and walking everywhere and we're staying in the
Not screwing around.
It's all right. I can see like.
You'll see the action. They'll stand up.
It's not illegal.
We can stand up though, Catherine, right?
stand up.
If I stand up and go over there and use my phone, that's all right.
Good luck, mate.
You're not
too, mate.
I'll go down.
Well, I'm seeing crazier things happen, I promise you.
Oh, yeah.
The guys up on the stage, you will not be able to come over and look at any of the stats down below.
See, that's discriminatory. That's discrimination.
What did they do? Discriminate?
We're not allowed to stand up and look down at the tables.
It's all right. We can see perfectly fine from up here. We have a good vantage point. Oh! Say it loud so the mic can pick it up. I wish I could pull him back, you know? Yeah, they're definitely muting this. Look, the light's not on.
Good luck, everyone.
Good luck, yeah. Good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck, guys.
You probably can, yeah.
Right, if there are no questions, players in the garage, dealers, please deal hand number 1.
Is that orange this time, Span?
Yeah.
Change
We've
it
got
up.
2 oranges left. So they're coming out the next 2 days.
I'm sorry.
Bad luck. I'm Johnny Chan. Just remember me as Johnny Chan. Please, don't be discriminatory. I might look Italian, but I'm a Chan.
Johnny Galtieri, maybe.
Johnny Galtieri.
One fold.
You guys want to play a must-show one when you win the hands?
Who picks the one?
The player.
No way. The opposition have to do it. The losing player. The losing player. The losing player.
Picks
Must
I don't think this is a good idea for me.
I disagree with this.
Because it's on
Completely
stream.
disagree. I think it adds to your cred. Showing
Mate, if
fives
this is the
and
home
sixes
game,
is a
I get
really
invited
good
to.
thing,
I'm out of here.
Another 10 and
Oh, did I take it back?
I don't know, but this one was out and that one wasn't.
If I ever win Spano's bracelet off this game, so
Why? How much is it?
it's not even 46.
40. Oh,
46, yeah.
please, mate.
I could maybe get the yellow gold one. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah, the yellow
Wait,
gold one.
yellow
30,
gold should be more
38.
Oh, wait, why is the white gold more expensive?
Hello.
Yellow gold with some background.
The way white gold works, it's
Maybe I've got that
It's
wrong.
gold.
Maybe both of them were 56k.
yeah, they should be both around the same.
Because my wife got a yellow gold, but with only 4 diamonds.
The difference between the yellow gold and white gold is, I think it's like coated like rhodium or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I like Spano's one better than yellow gold.
yeah. It's the best.
It's cardio, right?
What?
Cardio?
Yeah.
Need to get the what's that? The Santos. I've been looking at that.
Yeah, I was never into that stuff. But
Too cumbersome.
The watches. What do you mean?
watches I can't do. I can't do watches. I can't do watches. No. Yeah,
You lose them.
I do. I've never kept one.
Yeah. You need better watches.
No, the better ones are heavy.
Yeah, that's true.
The best ones are heavy. They're so heavy.
It'll be
the
comfortable
heaviest
knowing that
things in the
it's
universe.
X number of dollars and it looks cool and it's one of the biggest
Statement.
flexes.
It's a statement.
Software engineer.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
I had dinner with a person in London,
Yeah.
and she showed me 2 watches, and I have photos of them. One was worth 2 million, and one was worth 750,000.
One's a Paddock, one's a RS.
Both were Paddocks.
Oh,
Pink diamond. It was encrusted in pink diamonds.
That one, yeah. It's probably
I'll show you the photos of them.
All tables have to finish.
Unbelievable.
I just thought I'd let them have a conversation and then we just
Okay. That one's worth 750,000.
Richard Mille.
Oh, it's an RO. Wait, so the $2 million in paddock,
I'll show it to you.
is it like, is the full, like the dial coming in like
Richard
sapphires or
Mille.
something?
Yeah, I'll show you.
Yeah, let's see.
Are they French? No, they're Swiss, right?
Yeah. French or Swiss? I don't know.
I think it's French.
French. They would go French. And this is the $2 million one. That's my credit card.
That's your card, yeah. Only 2 million?
So this bottle of wine, I reckon, is worth $8,000. She went and got us. She went and got us it, and then put the watch on it.
Oh, that's your credit card again.
Hand number 2, please.
It's
Hand
a
number 2.
Watch your show, right away.
Yep. No more watches.
And that watch is worth $2 million.
I got something like that for $10 a pop.
You're right, though. You're right.
No, it didn't. Are you sure it's not Richard Mille?
Threefold.
It's Richard Mille.
Yeah.
Oh, both of them are Richard.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're both Richard Mille.
Oh. All right, Nico. I don't know more.
All right, I'll show one.
As we rejoin you here for our bubble coverage of the Goliath. Here our 1,250 100k guarantee that was obliterated.
Pink diamonds
And how good was it to
That was the best card you had.
how good was it to have Liam Murray in the booth with us? Very generous with his time. I just saw him over in the 450, and we are one off the money. So hopefully you don't hear me yapping on too much, but I'm going to try and fill the time a little bit, as I think we should get that off the table, boys, if we can.
Hand number 3, please. Hand number 3.
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
It's rose gold.
So $45,000 up top,
They would invite her to
and
Grand Prix drivers. Would
the
take
next
them
player
to
out will
Grand Prix,
receive
Grand Prix
precisely
cars
a 0,
around the-
our stone bubble of the grind.
yeah. They can't
Now, I
do
do
enough for
commentate this to you off the
give
delay, as you know.
experience
So
with
if there is a bust out on the other
otherwise
table, I'm just going to be doing
That's their
some
whole-
guessing. And I really hope you stuck
genre.
around for that interview with Liz.
That's what you don't get when you buy a
What
watch
a
from Bali, though.
champion human being she is. It's one of the
don't
most
get
favourite
that.
interviews I've ever done.
When you buy that watch from Bali. Oh, but you might get Bali Belly as well, mate.
And
Richard Mille not
I
going to
might let Rob Spanner do my job for me. He's a very good commentator when he's on the table. If there's a conversation that happens between the two players, we'll chime in and see what they're saying.
Now I need to look again. Easy decision. Look at this. Bachala. Wait. Sorry, I didn't mean to throw it through you.
All right, I'll show one.
So it's the ace.
The card goes off. We have to count the deck again, right?
7-3 off.
Oh, there was one in there.
2, 4, 6, 7. 3 tables of 7. Catherine.
21.
God, I wish I could do maths. Is it?
Are you sure?
And she's
thought
got
you
less
did-
than 100.
I thought you already paid it. I thought you already paid it. Because the bubble was on.
Don't stand up, Justin. I'm just about to tell you. I'll tell you not to do it, because if you do, they're going to bash you. But I'm really strange that they're not letting you stand up, actually, because that is a really strange rule.
Well, no,
Let
they
me
just say we
stress that.
can't go over there.
Yeah.
We can go back there
Yeah.
to look at our phones.
Coops. What? All in, she got called.
Oh, okay.
As it looks like we do have an all-in and a
no, it
call
didn't happen.
on the table to the
Now,
right.
Now can we stand up? Now can we stand
We'll
up?
try and take it over to the
Must be able to stand
TD
up.
to bring it home for this all-in and call.
Yeah.
Jack
Four. How about 4-4?
For the ace of diamonds, 3 of clubs, queen of clubs, shall we have a race?
All over.
Turn card.
All over. King.
Turn card, 7 of spades.
All over. All over.
We still remain on the bubble picks. Ace of spades for Shell.
Why are they cheering for the short stack?
Hey?
Why are they cheering for the short stack?
They were cheering for the Jack 4. Yeah, they were cheering for the bust out.
Oh, hadn't you dealt yet? Oh, come on.
They were just doing it.
It doesn't sound like we lost anyone there.
We are.
Ladies and gentlemen, speak.
So we are still on the stone bubble here of the grind.
Please go on break. Finish the hand on go on break.
Liz folding the Jack 8 suited under the gun. Now, we've seen Liz get amongst it. I went and caught up with a few of the boys for dinner, and they were all had their heads in their hands because they had all been knocked out by Liz. And two of the hands, frankly, boys, you got completely and utterly outplayed. So Liz is dialed in today.
Our aim is to make APT a really strong brand in this country. Thank you.
As Robert goes for it all here. It's going to leave 45k behind.
Just 375 is the bet, yeah?
370.
370.
It's hard to see Corey not putting this in, having Robert covered. Has a strong range, but nines could just be a little too good to not put this one in.
Okay.
All in.
And that does go in from Corey Van Jay. Robert,
That's not all in the call. He's got 25 behind you.
No, I was just making sure you didn't like show.
Robert has not called yet, so this is interesting.
Yeah.
And he's folded. Robert has 3-bet, not all in, and left himself with 2 big blinds behind.
Hand number 5, please. Hand number 5.
As he's going to be able to get another 7 hands in, because once he pays the small blind, he'll still have 15k behind. 25k behind, actually. So Robert chooses the non-all-in 3-bet. Saved himself there. He was drawing pretty thin to the pocket nines. And he's bought himself another 7 hands.
Rob.
As
Close.
We could have stacked him if we just seen a flop.
As Spano, both the Roberts interjecting with each other about that hand.
One fold. Two raise, 40. Three folds. Five folds.
Alright guys, if you are hungry, there are pieces by the bar and there are more pieces on the way. Help yourselves if you are hungry, pieces at the bar and there are more on the way.
Right, in the middle of us playing poker. Good idea. Go down the...
Six bet 75.
Tiger, you got to snooker one of those pizzas and bring him up here. You got to snooker one of those pizzas and bring him up here. What do you reckon? Can we snooker one? Just, we all have a piece, right?
You know, Elizabeth, when we played heads up, I could get you. Since then, I don't know if I've beat you in a hand.
Oh, even a jack.
Nice hand.
Nicely done.
I think Stack's going to bash you.
Missed that one there with the sevens getting folded, but if you are just tuning in, we're on the stone bubble, so you are going to see a lot more tighter poker than you're used to seeing, because we're hand for hand currently. 21st gets 0, 20th gets 2,500, so $45,000 to our winner. So you're going to see a lot more of those type of folds. We had Jared Thatcher in the booth yesterday explain a lot of the spots that he went through on the stone bubble in the Goliath. It was amazing to hear his insights. So if you are just tuning in now and seeing a few moves that are a little different to what you're used to seeing, it's going to be a function of us being hand for hand on the stone bubble here in the grind. As I've just called this one in, CVJ raising the 6-3 offsuit on the stone bubble, and Robert, who bought himself another 7 hands by 3-betting not all in with the ace-9, is going to commit his last few chips here with the ace-9, and he is in a world of hurt. Duncan waking up with ace-king in the big, and Rob.
Good luck, bro.
Good luck.
Duncan comes with call here, so
What do you do? Do you play the hand out till the end?
CVJ sitting on 30% equity, the 6-3 offsuit. It's not too bad, and we have an all-in and a call on our feature table.
Is that 50,000?
Yeah, so this is
And Rob is in a world of hurt. He's going to walk away with $0 if he doesn't find a 9 or a club, some running clubs.
small, plus a small, yeah. Thank you.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Well done, champ.
There are some clubs there, some backdoor opportunities for Robert as Duncan with the gutter and 2 overs. And that is going to be it. Barring anything out of the absolute ordinary, Robert finds his 9, but he is going to be our bubble boy here in the grind. CVJ wondering, this could be a good spot to bet, because if he loses to the all-in of Rob, he gets to keep the bubble going, but he was thinking about it. It wasn't going to get through as Duncan eliminates Rob. And we are in the money, in the grind.
Ace-9 versus ace-king of Duncan and 6-3 for
I was thinking about
Good
it.
luck, Rob.
10-4, king-9. Pair of kings is going to win it. We will lose Rob, and our
I
bubble
wasn't.
is burst.
If I bet it was going to be like 20,000, so you were going to be out of it.
Duncan not happy there with CVJ, thinking about a bet there on the river, but I can see where CVJ was coming from. He's really incentivized to keep that bubble going with his 1.4 million. And we do hope his mother is still in the chat watching on, cheering on her son.
You knew he was going to do it right, didn't you?
What's that?
You knew that.
They are now in the money, in the grind,
in
so
this hand
chips
here?
should start to fly
Yeah,
here.
well,
You expected he
And
would.
Yeah,
it's going to be difficult
actually
for
thought
me
about
to be able to bring you
I
some
don't mind
stacks
it.
on the
Well,
other
I mean,
tables
he
because
always had the call.
Yeah. Yes, 100%. Yeah.
And then
I am bringing this to you off the delay. I can do my best.
And they just blast off for no reason. Yeah, you're right. And that's frustrating.
he doesn't look like a novice.
No, Duncan knows what he's doing.
Dealers, you are good to shuffle up a deal as normal. Players who get knocked out, please come and see myself. I'll give you a payout card. You go get paid. Top 16, we will redraw.
As we do a recap of what's going on around the room, it does look like we are definitely in the money now. Just going to try and get some stacks from some other tables. I'm probably going to get you accurate stacks, but I can get you some names. And there are some pretty big names in Australian poker left in this event on the outer tables. Probably the best of them that I can see. Aiden Hildebrandt. Don't see him much on the live tournament circuit anymore, but he's a force. He's still in. Romain Morvan still in the event. Sam Adams. Johan Lees. Shelley Pooley, our APT ambassador who came up in the booth with us yesterday. Michael Wicks. He's been a feature. He keeps things very interesting. Been a feature of our APT streams in the past. So Jigsy Reyes, who's already won he's already won the Players Champs. And I can see Adam Thagard is still in too. So we've got some big names in. Adam Thagard, of course, who could forget his memorable run in that mystery bounty, taking home $250,000. You can still see him in the event. Some difficulties up here, but we're getting back on track. So we will lose 4 more players, and when we get down to our final 16, we're going to do a table redraw. So that'll probably be our next break in action, and we've still got 4 to lose. So I wouldn't be going anywhere. If you have played in the grind or been in the money in the grind before, you'll know that chips start to fly after the bubble has burst. And look at Liz, 1.5 million chips as she chugs down on what could be a Coke or some type of Scotch and Coke. As Peter, very patient. We saw Peter dodge the jacks versus aces, and now he's got the aces of his own. And for 6 big blinds, Duncan probably has to call this off. Let's see what happens here. Peter comes with 3-bet for what looks to be half his stack. That might let Duncan gives Duncan a chance to get away from this one. And he does. Glad to see you're still with us, Misty. CVJ's mum in the house, still watching on. And in any other grind, Corey would be having the chip lead with this huge 1.3 million, but he's up against the formidable force of the 80-year-old Elizabeth Busson. Truly unbelievable.
Big blind, sorry, Jacob. Thank you.
You got plenty.
But CVJ working with a pile, and if as good of a poker player as CVJ is, it's going to be hard to see him not making the final table off this stack. It's really going to be putting the pressure on. We saw the 6-3 offsuit on the button, on the bubble. So Liz puts down the 9-5. And the ace-5 offsuit is good enough for Justin to move all in.
It's a $50 job, right?
No, so he's raised
At
4
18,
bigs.
there's a $50 job.
So he's raised for a third of his stack, I'd say, somewhere around that. Maybe a little bit more.
Raise.
And let's see if CVJ decides to run this. He does move all in. Justin's going to have to call, and we're off to the races.
Fair.
This is about as good as you can get it in with King 8.
We'll make it a 9.
First
9
Justin's
seems fair.
ace-5 in this scenario, and if there's a king or an 8,
Good luck, bro.
you know the drill, Justin will be going home in 20th place, but he's in pretty good shape to double up here. Not anymore. That is all she wrote for Justin Wu. He's absolutely dead to running aces, and it's going to be all over. CVJ propels himself into the chip lead of the grind.
I'm making some things happen in this round, aren't I?
Yeah,
Thanks, man. Nice playing with
buddy.
you.
Good luck, Justin.
King 8 was good enough there for CVJ to run it versus Justin, and it's working now with 1.6 million. He gave me a lesson on the pronunciation of his name a few years ago, and I'm trying to remember exactly what it is. But until then, I'm just going to run the CVJ, of course, head coach of his own business there, Implied Odds Poker Coaching, and he's running a very good advertisement for his poker coaching business here in the grind. Is Corey van Jaarsveld, I think is how I'm supposed to pronounce it. I'm just going to go with CVJ for the rest of the night. How's that sound?
On the side. So hey, yeah. So, but
Elizabeth,
I mean,
can he get back on the bike here with Ace Queen?
30K to try
I
and
did
make
mention to you, chips do
8
fly
high
in the grind as soon as the bubble has burst, and we're
I
seeing
had
that
no
now.
intentions of making you fold anything as strong as a king.
Duncan, don't fold out a turn there, mate, as Liz is going to come with raise.
In the in that hand, yeah.
Gone 4x here has Liz. Goodness me. Definitely got her own style, and that style has been able to amass 1.5 million chips. Not something you see every day. And Corey's going to have to put in more chips than he usually would, and he's dominated. Let's see a flop.
Heads up.
Snap check back from Liz there. I'd be surprised if Corey doesn't fire one off here. It's a board that's going to suit him way more than Liz, especially after that snap check back on the flop. No, it comes with check. That was a check from Liz as well, and she is going to drill this one home. Not that she needed to find the ace. CJ might have saved himself some chips there. As we haven't lost anyone on our outer tables. Just a reminder for everyone at home, we lose 3 more players and we'll do a redraw for the last 16, and we're going to bring you coverage of this event all the way until a winner. Could be into the depths of the night, let's be honest. The grind usually is a late one for us here at APT and at Eatons Hills, so strap in. Don't go too far away.
Raised to 105.
Interesting spot developing here as CVJ's got the ace-7 on the button, and he's met by a 3-bet from Spano with a king-9. Have to see these boys mixing it up. CVJ's on a rampage, though. And he ain't going anywhere.
Heads up.
Bobby heads up here. Already 250K in the middle. SBR just under 2. There's a bit there for everyone. Should be firing something out here if we're Spano. And CVJ will just snap bin that one.
Button's good, Jacob.
It's actually a favourite there.
High, bro.
52%.
Good, man.
But probably knows that he's going to be seeing more heat on the turn in the river from Spano. Elizabeth Buisson, 1.6 million. It's pretty incredible. Won that huge pot versus Justin
Offer 'em to our friend at the end
for the money.
Extra time. I was going to say $10 each, or you can buy the pack for 40.
As we get a new player, that looks like Hassan Hyde. It is. Welcome to the table, Hassan. As he picks up pocket eights straight away. Spino comes with a call here with the A7. Interesting. And Duncan doesn't defend the Jack 6. Hassan in good shape here to take down a decent pot. Oh, well, you can say goodbye to that because Spano has absolutely come in with an all-time deck read here. Hassan's going to absolutely love his hand, and Spano's got him absolutely crushed. He's going to check back. Yes, Spano, you did call the A7-0. You have flop trips, but the ace of diamonds just to back it up. Hassan's going to be feeling pretty good about this. He's going to need to find an 8 or some running straight cards to stay alive. Oh, goodness gracious me, it's come in. It's come in, and Spano has the nut flush draw. Wowee, this may not have been a deck read after all. Spano's dead to 1 out here. Haas checks it over to Spano. SBR just over 1. Even if he doesn't think he's good, no matter what transpires here, he's got that flush draw to back it up. It's only going to have 180 behind if he calls here, Hassan. He might just be sending this one in. No, comes with call. Bit of Hollywood here from Hassan Hyde as he finds the absolute gin on the turn. What a hand has transpired here. Spano just flooding the A7-0. First Huss is open. And he is going to pay the price. No, Huss does jam. I was going to be surprised if he just flooded that one there, and Spano is going to call this off and realise he is as dead as he's ever been. And it's all over.
Nice hand.
For Spano in this hand. He's going to be left with 12 bigs. Drawing to 1 out and 1 out only. The 7 of spades. It doesn't come in. What a hand there for Hassan Hyde. Closing in on $1 million. Spano might want that one
Turn
back.
was better.
But that's how he does it. 20% of the 80% of the time he's going to take that down after the flop. So tough one there for Rob, and he's going to be left with 12 bigs as Huss does his post-hand analysis.
Can't do much about those ones.
The ace of diamonds.
Yeah.
Eights of all the fucking eights to have.
Yeah, straight flush, yeah.
Yuck, yuck, yuck. Well done.
Nice hand sleep.
So I don't want to call that the Justice 8, but it would have been quite the beat for Hassan if he lost there to the Ace-7. And Spano might want back, but he's his own man, does his own things. He's got millions of dollars of cashes for a reason, as Hassan Heim will look to defend.
Can I fold there?
The 10-9 here, dominated by Elizabeth's King 9. We've got 18 remaining. Just remember, we lose 2 more players, and we'll be on a break for a redraw of our final 16. We'll have a featured table here and a secondary table out the side. I'll do my best to bring updates from over there as well, but some of quality Australian players are left in this event, as we are now in the money, in the grind. $45,000 to our victor. $100,000 guarantee. That was completely obliterated.
Thank you very much.
And we have 45K up top. For who wins the grind, which is going to culminate late into the night. But we lose 2 more. We'll go to a redraw, we'll have a break, and then it's all poker all night until the rest of the night. Braden Jinx here with you, and I'll bring you the action all the way to the end.
Your fault.
And we'll only get a few hours sleep before we're up early in the morning to bring you the rest of the main event. It's been great having all of you here with us. Streaming numbers have been really good across all 3 platforms, as Spano sends the ace-jack into the middle for his last 12 bigs. 13, sorry.
Just to make sure if you wanted to know whether I want the caller or not.
Let's have a look if CVJ wakes up with anything here.
Now I'm down to
Apologies,
1.
it's Peter in the big blind.
Not much chance either.
Ah!
Bit of Hollywood here from Pete.
I fold.
You'll see that New South Wales hat of Spano is actually an APT issued State of Origin hat. Spano are part of the New South Wales State of Origin side.
2 live cards.
Yeah,
You had 2 live cards.
so I was probably 35, 38%.
Yeah, so you
Yes,
can't,
Peter.
can't use your phone at the table, but you can just take a couple steps away and you can use it.
Oh, give him an orbit.
Peter
No,
saved
it's not
himself,
his big blind.
and
Wait for
well
a
earned
few
himself
hours.
$2,500 for his
Big
min cash
blind.
after he dodged the jacks versus aces That was something to behold. I apologise. I got the first place prize wrong by $1,000. It's a $46,000 up top here in the grind. $30,000 to whoever comes second. And Elizabeth Busson is no stranger to that, coming second in the grind last year as a 79-year-old and here as an 80-year-old. Not speaking out of school. She's very proud of the fact she's still dominating at the tables into her 80s. And Huss comes with call with the 8s. He's going to be feeling pretty good about this one after he drilled that 8 on the turn versus Spano. Everyone's interaction on the chat over YouTube, Twitch and Facebook is much needed, especially when without my sidekick here, Harvey, not joining us for this series. But really, I'm stoked at the contribution of everyone around the room to come and fill in the gaps when they have. We had Thatcher in for 4 hours yesterday. What about his insights? Purely incredible as Liz outflops Huss here. Not sure how many more chips she'll get out of it.
No, redraw at 16.
And Huss
there,
shows the
Why
8s.
couldn't that happen to me? Fuck.
Yeah, so we had Thatcher up in the booth, APT ambassador, another APT ambassador in Shelley Pooley. What an amazing story she's got. And she's actually still in the grind. She's on an outer table. So stick around if you're a fan of Shelley. Follow her on social media.
No bananas yet. I haven't used the banana. No, I usually eat them at the end.
She's a
of
real
my,
gem. I reckon I can see
Tenure at the
Aiden
table.
Hildebrand.
That's your reward.
My reward or my,
Punishment.
punishment.
See
whichever you
Adam
see fit.
Thagard in there as well. I wouldn't be going anywhere if you're a fan of Australian poker, that's for sure, with these names left in the field. But they're all going to have to catch Elizabeth Busson, who is an overwhelming chip leader. 1.7 million.
Correct.
If I have the chip lead in my $20 pub tournament at 80 years of age, I'll be stoked, let alone the $1,250 buy-in of the grind. It's truly incredible. Last year when she came second in the grind to Dipper, I reckon she satellited in as well.
I'll take
So
you on.
CVJ looks like he's run into it here.
Thank you.
Okay. Spano says it's home time
I need to hit. Yeah,
and
that's
calls
right.
off his last
Yeah, it is actually.
15 bigs here with the
yeah.
7-8 off.
I'd like an 8,
And
please.
CVJ, once he got snapped, would have thought that he was in pretty bad shape. Good
Yeah,
flop
now
there
9,
for
8 or
CVJ. 7, 8 or 9. Spanner will double up. There is a $250
It's not a 9,
Drawmaha
8 or
tournament
7.
on up the road. Maybe Spano wants to get out of that and go into the Drawmaha
That's not a
as
9, 8 or
CVJ
7.
is going to knock out Spano.
Well
Goodness
played,
gracious
Andy.
me.
Well played.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Spano says it's home time. He's out of here.
Thanks, Elizabeth.
That
I'm
one
trying to catch up to you, but every time I get close, you just smack
more
me back
surprised
down.
me that when we jam the King 6-0 there for 13 bigs and get our arms snapped off, we're going to think we're pretty dead.
Down here on my last
Seeing the
table.
7-8-0, a little surprise, as there is a tournament on up at Empire in the Mixed Games Academy.
someone told me there was
Rob
someone
loves
down
his
there
mixed
with
games, so
1.1
maybe he wanted to go play that. That's
no.
my only explanation there, as we will move on.
yeah, I agree with you.
And
Yep. Sounds
we
about
are
right.
one off a redraw, so the next player out, we'll be
I don't
taking
think-
a
I
break
don't
and
think
we'll
he
be
looked. I
redrawing
think he
and we'll be
just
bringing
was ready.
poker to you from 16 onwards all the way down until a winner. Can Liz Busson go one better than she did in the Gold Coast last year?
Yeah,
Succumbing to Dipper.
I don't think he can fold his hand. Yeah, I said to him, like, you can be not bluffing and he still wins. So, is he
Nothing
gonna
like a
fold and maybe
post-hand
show him
analysis
7 suited?
from
You're like, oh, good
CVJ.
fold, buddy.
Sorry, guys. I was just a little bit taken aback at that hand. Especially, I saw the King 6 of Corey's first, and once he got snapped, you've got to think that you're doing pretty poorly. He was doing as good as he could as Liz interested here in... Oh, I thought she was in the small blind. Apologies.
Oh, no.
Liz is going to defend the 10-5 suited.
My nemesis.
Thought we're going to have to go through another one of those hands, but we don't. Normal from both as CVJ in pretty good shape to take this one down. Goodness me.
Got one.
CVJ now
You just want me to
actually
feel like I
takes
can
the
win,
chip
so-
lead from Liz after that all-in confrontation versus
I
Rob.
appreciate it.
Got to keep things pretty balanced up here.
I think if you beat me a
But
seventh time in a row, I would
CVJ
have cried. So
is going to
thank you.
think all his Christmases come at once after that hand.
We got to 16.
Oh, awesome.
If you are a fan of Liz,
We're redrawing.
I really hope you were able to check out my interview with her. That was pretty incredible, really. Explained her whole life story. She's been playing for more years than basically anyone in this room has been alive. 50-something or so years she's been playing poker. Travels around in her van playing these tournaments. And wouldn't it be a great story if she was able to go one better than she did last year at the Gold Coast? As our TD lets us know that CVJ was made to fold 8-9 suited there because he wasn't at the table. And I have a feeling this could be our last hand before we go to a redraw. But I'll just confirm that with you. So, yeah, like a 5 or 10 minute break. I wouldn't be going anywhere. $46,000 up top to our winner as Liz calls with 10-9 suited out of the small versus Pete's ace-queen. Nothing there for Liz. And that will be it. This will be our last hand. Nothing there for Liz. I've called it in for her as she turns a pair of tens. Hand's not over yet. Ace jack or a queen for Pete. Oh, Monica, that's awesome. I'm really glad you enjoyed that interview. It was from last year as Liz holds on in this hand. It was so great to be able to speak to Liz about her journey in life, and it's going to be a very, very quick 5-minute break. So don't go anywhere. We're going to do a quick redraw, quick count of stacks. I'll be back with you in 5 minutes with our redraw and our final 16 of the grind here at Eatons Hill in Brisbane. $46,000 up top to the winner. Don't go anywhere.
Alright guys, grab some racks, we're redrawing.
I don't know the try.
Huh? Tuck that down.
We go down there
And
now.
another one, and it's going to be up on the screen. I'll just redraw it now.
seat 6. Not the best.
Right, yeah.
Oh, that's me. On the big screen. Oh, the next picture's really cool. I love this one.
Did you Cute.
I know you can't show emotion. But hell yeah. Oh wait, you're dealing. Take this one. Jokes. It's always mine. It's only, not you, it's me.
Alrighty, players, if you guys up next one to seat 6, your return lines are 10,000, 20,000 with a 20,000 in one empty. There are 7 minutes and 52 seconds left on the clock. Dealers, please shuffle up and deal.
One fold. Two folds. Three folds.
Aiden. Nice to meet you, Shelley.
Sorry.
You're right. That's okay. It's not painful, it's fine. It's like,
It's 20.
stay there for a few weeks and then Aiden, yeah.
What's the recovery?
Yep.
Should be 4 weeks. I've been injured, this will be like 6 weeks injury and then get an x-ray as long as it's healed properly over time. Yeah, just have to chill.
Is it painful like in general?
Moving and stuff day to day is fine. Like I was working sort of with it, but like as soon as I can't lift it laterally, so I can't like move it this way, like a few inches off my body, it really hurts. And sleeping it becomes a pain. Like I wake up throughout the night, I'm like, oh, like roll over.
Do you have to keep it in when you sleep?
Not when I sleep, it's okay, but it's still like, yeah, painful.
Must be just really frustrating like showering and stuff like
That, yeah, luckily partner's good, but like my temper's just like getting shorter as well. I'm just like, I'm seeing pain, I'm like, fuck, I feel sorry for it. Feel bad.
My partner, we moved up to Gold Coast like 6 months ago.
Yeah.
From Sydney,
Nice.
and 2 weeks before we moved,
Yeah.
he broke his rib,
Oh, painful.
go-karting.
What? He just hit something really hard?
It was, yeah, like we actually went to this go-karting place. It was so dangerous.
Yeah.
I stood there, I had really badly bruised knees.
Oh,
Nowhere near
I've been to
as
like, not like, they seem pretty safe. Been to a few of them, they're like,
it
fine,
wasn't
you know.
an outdoor one, it was an indoor one.
Yeah, right.
And
Get absolutely hammered.
they kept spinning out.
Just going around in circles and hitting everything and everyone.
Yeah, and he smacked really hard into like one of the sides, and then someone else went into him, and then that was
Gets a pops
GG.
broken rib. That's painful.
Pretty well. Done pretty well.
He was like, yeah, broken rib. Like, yeah, fair enough.
Went to the hospital.
Takes like ages to heal as well because you can't do anything.
Yeah, we couldn't do anything. And we were moving house.
That's
It was brutal.
running bad.
Two folds. Three folds. One fold.
How's that been changed?
luck, Shelley.
Thank you.
2 falls.
Same here. Suited.
Diamonds?
Greedy. Chop.
Okay, fair.
Oh.
Diamonds?
Club. Heart.
Oh, Jesus.
Heart. Heart. Yeah, that's it.
No, it was his free roll. She loves to give me what?
I lost 10k.
Just pick up the straight flush.
This is the TV table.
Fun.
I remember I was in a tournament earlier last year, and it was ace king versus ace queen,
Yeah.
and I got a 4-card splash,
Yeah.
and he tried to play my
Oh, he said he was. They have to check. He was like, the dealer was attentive. They
table
knew.
and the dealer were
Yeah,
very,
there come on, mate.
yeah,
Sneaky. That's naughty.
very, very sneaky.
Five raise, 55. 7 falls. One fall. 2 falls.
You play much?
3 falls.
I did. While I was playing professionally for like almost 10 years. And now I no longer do. Now I work. Yeah.
Very tough.
It is tough, yeah. No, I work for my brother and his best mate, family, business and stuff. I was like happy to get away from the full-time grind. It is. Like, it's mainly cash as well. Like, tournaments
That's
league,
true.
tough ball, like, yeah. Like, they're fun.
I feel
Now
like
I can
if
play.
you're doing it for that long, you kind of need to be
Yeah.
playing for it as well.
Yeah,
I've
it
been
definitely
doing it
helps.
for a year and a half now.
Yeah.
Just
Oh, you've done well,
entertaining.
yeah.
Oh yeah, no,
Had a pretty
it's
good
been,
start,
it's
yeah.
been good, yeah. But it's still hard. Like,
Of course. It's taxing as a
You still
what
look
you
at
got to
the
go through.
still look at the winnings and go, wait, where is all that?
Yeah. A few hundred K in cash, you're still down a few hundred K. Oh well. Tournaments are tough. If you're lucky. That's it. If you're a luckier player,
I am.
it's probably nice. You need it. 100% need it.
Yeah, I'm very lucky.
Nice. Hopefully it continues.
And I would never want to change that.
Yeah. I feel lucky in other aspects of life. Maybe not this game so much.
One fall.
What aspects do you feel like?
3 falls.
Health, family, a bunch, stuff that matters.
That is the stuff
More
that
so.
matters.
Obviously,
Runs out this hand,
finance
that's
matters,
15,
but
25,
just work hard and make money and do the right things. Whereas this game, sometimes it's like 1 or 2 big spots can change a career.
It is
You
interesting
did say
though, like
mindset.
mindset. Like
The lines are up against the
such a
grind.
big game,
15,000,
like in your
25,000
entire
today,
life.
25,000 big line.
It can be.
You know, I know people have got friends that have such a negative outlook on life. And I thought bad things always happen to them, but I really think it's because of how they think.
Yeah, it's like the power of the law of attraction. Right? You think bad things happen. You think good, like very likely good things start happening. Or you just appreciate the right
It's
things.
better to just be happy go lucky
That's
and
it.
you roll with the punches and
We're only here for a finite amount of time. Make
Yeah.
make the most of it and be grateful for what you have. Yeah, poker's like really hammers home that the mindset aspect of it, right?
it makes you resilient. Yeah.
Yeah. Into that or you just crumble
It
and
can
what?
make you crumble though.
Yeah, well you go through tough stages all
Yeah.
the time.
You raise 155. 3 falls. 4 falls. 5 falls.
Very good start. I told you, you're going to win. I believe.
I did misclick by one chip. I meant by 130, yeah. Yeah. Whereabouts on the Gold Coast are you living now? Oh, the best. That's amazing. Where were you living in Sydney? Yeah. Where were you living in Sydney? Is that central or I'm not too familiar? Oh, yeah. So you're not too far away from... There's like a big cohort of players there. I've got some sort. Thank you. That was like I remember, a bunch of the guys I played on my pony had like Coogee team patches or something like that on. A bunch of those guys.
The real estate group?
Must have been, yeah.
There's like a whole group of guys that are all like
Sam
real
Capra
estate.
and all
Yeah,
that.
that's
Yeah.
the ones, yeah.
Yeah.
I used to run Pokedome at Coogee RSL.
They're such nice guys.
Awesome guys.
Actually, that's what I miss from Sydney the most. There's a $200 buy-in game.
On Tuesday night?
Yeah.
That's what I started, yeah.
Yeah.
Years and
That's
years
And
and
it's,
years
it's
ago.
unlimited rebuys.
Yeah, always
I think the most someone did was like 13. 13 re-entries in a 200. I could be wrong. Yeah, it was just one of those games. It was just a lot of fun.
Yeah. So the locals show up and just gamble, have fun. Live in an apartment.
Hello, everybody. We are back here to bring you the final 16 of the grind. $46,000 up top. And you're going to see some familiar faces, but they are in different seats. Duncan and Elizabeth have just moved over one seat, but completely random redraw as we see one of Sydney's best here in Johan Lees. I'm sorry, Johan. Johan there in Duncan's old seat. Some very familiar names here. What about Shelley Pooley, APT ambassador? She was in the booth with us yesterday. Good to see her still in. 16 left. I've just seen those comments as I've stepped back into the booth. I am here. A little bit of a longer break because I'm going to be here with you into the depths of the night as we're going to bring a winner of this event to you.
My current partner works in the industry.
Great structure. We may even go into a day 3 tomorrow. Not sure. We'll just see how the night goes. 16 left. Shelley's short, but you're never dead. And what about Elizabeth Bousson's monstrous chip lead here? Johan Lees over 1 million. CVJ was on around 1.8 million, but he's been redrawn to the other table.
It's exactly it. It happened before.
And I'll just try and give you a bit of a recap as I don't want to stick my head too far out of the booth, but it does look like Adam Faggard is still in over there, CVJ still in, Hassan Hyde, Michael Wicks. It's a shame we didn't draw him on the feature table. Romain Morvan is still in as well, so big names still in here in the grind. We should at least, very least, get to the final table, that's for sure, but I don't think we'll get a winner. We'll be with you all night long until we do. Good to see Elizabeth wearing the Variance Poker brand, of course, created by Shelley Pooley, who's on this table. Really high quality stuff. Might get myself a hoodie on the way out as Johan just jams on Peter here.
This is really cool how
Yeah, this is an awesome setup.
Sam Adams in seat 4. I dare say Sam holds some type of record here at APT for most trophies, most cashes, or most final tables. He's definitely got one of the 3. Not sure off the top of my head though, as Shelley's in the big blind now, so she's going to be dealing with 4 bigs. Johan just sizing up Shelley's stack here, seeing how much effective it will be. From up here, I reckon she might have about 60 behind. Which Peter should be sending this one in here, and we'll see if Shelley can wake up with anything. Peter does put this one in. And that is going to be good enough for 4 big blinds as Shelley puts it in with Jack 10. And we're off to the races.
That feels a bit bad.
Fans of Shelley
That feels bad.
will be hoping for a double up here.
Thank you.
Not much doing there for Shelley, as a Jack and a 10 already folded, and that will be it.
Good luck, everyone.
We will lose our APT ambassador in 16th place as we farewell Shelley Pauly. My chat with her yesterday was so great. A lot of really good insights. Moved over here with nothing from England 11 years ago and done really well for herself, over $300,000 in AUD in cashes since she's moved over. If you are just joining us, you can see in the top right hand corner, 168 runners, 15 remaining. One of those players is going to end up with $46,000. And it's going to be hard to go through Elizabeth Bousson here, 1.8 million. And she's woken up with it here, Ace King. Elizabeth back on the bike. Really glad your family members, whoever they are out there, daughter, nephews or nieces, cousins, were able to see that interview between me and Elizabeth. I was very proud to be able to bring that to everyone. And as we're going to be off to the races here, Duncan's sevens versus the Ace King of Elizabeth. Duncan will need a dry run out to stay alive. That is more than a dry run out. That is the stone cold Nutter Butters here, and we will double up here. Duncan back to 700k. Flop Liz close to dead. Not much you can do. On the 997, sorry, as we'll do a bit of a recap here. More people joining the stream, and it is going to be tough to get Elizabeth's chips, but when a player the caliber of Aidan Hildebrand on your table with 1.1 million, that might be my tip to take out the grind. And if you do see Aiden there, he doesn't have one arm. He's got his right arm in a sling, I believe.
Roughly the same. 1.1 half.
As Aiden's card was exposed there. Sorry to phone that one in, but Aiden suffering a right shoulder injury. Too much chip riffling, I believe. But probably the most unheralded or underrated players in the country by a fair way, I'd imagine. And probably my tip to take this one out from this position. Such a great player, and working with 1.1 million, going to be tough to beat. I joke, Aiden. It was a futsal injury, apparently, playing indoor soccer. See if Sam just decides to defend this one, and he does, versus Liz's pocket eights. We're off to the races again, and Elizabeth out-flopped again. As the job up here is a little tougher by ourselves. Don't want to yap on all night, so I've tried to line up some special guests throughout the day, and I've managed to be able to get the great Eatons Hill. What should we call him? The legend of Eatons Hill. Lachlan Crilly will be joining us in the booth later tonight, so stick around for that. You won't have to hear me yap on for the rest of the day, as Lachlan Crilly will be joining us shortly. He had a pile of chips in this event, so I'm going to be really interested to see where they went. Of course, if you're interested, or if you haven't recognised Crilly throughout the week, he has shaved off those long curly locks for the world's greatest shave, managed to raise close to $15,000. You can still donate. World's greatest shave, Lachlan Crilly. If you type that into Google, it will come up, I'm led to believe. As Johan, the non-believer here, versus George's middle pair and straight draw. Snap check back from George. Johan with the ace of clubs in hand. See if he gets a little frisky here. He goes to check to see if that club is an ace. An ace is a We should have that table mic back. Sorry, everyone. I got a bit excited about Johan's jam. But that sounds like we've got that one back up as Pete wakes up with Ace King. We should be back now if I've got that. I'm hoping I've got that sound back. Just let me know. As we have some interaction here. Johan just comes with call. Not much going on for anyone here. Some backdoor stuff happening for the mighty Johan. So we have 15 left here in the grind. $46,000 up top. Johan looks to have some devious intentions here versus Pete. Lays that one down, doesn't like it. As I have locked in confirmation, the great Lachlan Crilly will be joining us in the booth. He's definitely going to be coming in 10 to 15 minutes time. Glad that all of these players have been able to generously give up their time to come and have a chat with us in the booth. And I apologise for anyone who's looking for hand analysis. Not that you'd want that off me, but when people come in in the booth, we tend to have more of a chat about life and poker and how everything's going more so than the actual poker. But we are playing for a lot of money here with some quality players on the table, so we'll start to try and bring a bit more coverage of the hands to you as Duncan outflops Pete here.
Yeah, that seems accurate. Remember, like, the last couple of times, the average final two tables was like 20 bigs that I've ever ran deep in this number, like last year.
Jared Thatcher gave up 4 hours of his time to sit in with us on Friday, and goodness me, if you actually just want to get any better at poker, you could listen to that stream for 4 hours and employ everything that Jared Thatcher tells you. Gave away a fair few of his secrets on the stream, so highly recommend going back listening to that if you've got the time. He also recommended YouTube as well as a really good resource. Had Liam Jehu in here on day one. Liam Murray came in here with us this afternoon as well on his 36th birthday. So very grateful for Liam to come in on his birthday and share an hour with us. And who could forget the unforgettable Shelley Pooley, who we just lost in this event in 16th. As Liz comes in, decides to flat the ace-5. As we recap the action from around the room today, the 350 Poker Shop, one of our flagship events. The Poker Shop's been running for years and years. It's always run on a weekend, gets great numbers. That's taken out by Josh Coomey for 8,300. I reckon Josh has already won an event this week. That would be something to behold. I reckon he might have won the Hashem Deep Stack. He might have beat Krilly heads up. We might ask him about that. Don't quote me on it though.
Ladies and the main flight team, this is your 2-minute call. So make your way back to your tables, 2 minutes.
Pretty incredible turnout there to get 8,300. It was probably more than that. They chopped it for 8K each. As I have a look at our secondary feature table in the grind, just to keep everyone updated. Looks like Adam Thagard, CVJ is still in. I can see Romain Morvan down there as well. And it was Josh Coomey, so he's won 2 tournaments in the space of 3 days, and I can't wait to bring this up with Krilly when he jumps in the booth with us in a few minutes' time. So Josh Coomey won the Joe Hashem Deep Stack for 25 grand, and he follows it up with an $8,300 victory in the Poker Shop. That is some series for Josh Coomey, and they tell me it's only his 4th ever APT tournament. So he's played 4 tournaments, he's won 2 of them for $33,000 each. Incredible effort from him.
Yeah, for everyone, I mean.
And the Luke Edwards Champion 7 Max event is heads up, and it's Jared Thatcher heads up versus Dan Johnson. So the fireworks are plenty over in that heads up confrontation. I think it's about $8,000 for first and 5 grand for second, as Jared Thatcher looks to take down his 2nd trophy of the week as well. When it rains, it pours, huh? So I'm getting more accurate information on Josh Coomey's stats. He's played 5 APT events, 4 final tables, a 4th place finish, and 2 wins. That could be the greatest ROI in the history of the APT. Goodness gracious me, that's actually incredible. We'll get a bit of an insight into Josh's playing style when Lachlan Crilly jumps into the booth with us. He's not too far away.
Thank you, I needed actually. 5 bets 50.
Big freeze dealers, 50 days roll, pleasure, 10-minute break. 10-minute break, ends the big freeze.
Full phones.
Big boy. You're lifting heavy weights.
Just having a bit of trouble with the sound here tonight, doing our best to keep the table mic on. You don't want to be listening to me all night, so looks like we've got that back working again. So we see Aiden enter the pot for the first time on this feature table.
Heads up.
Flops the eyeballs out of this one. We'll look to continue. Elizabeth bottom pair.
2 bets 30.
Liz going nowhere with her bottom pair. And it's good for now, as we'll see if Aiden chooses if this is a hand he wants to double barrel. Got a feeling it's incoming. But Aiden will definitely know a lot better than me. One of the most underrated players in the country for sure. Be surprised if he doesn't put one in here though. Here it comes. That looks like 150.
125.
125. And it's a snap bin from Liz. Even though she folded the best hand then, still working with upwards of 1.7 million, as I can see a very bald head in the distance walking towards me. Lachlan Crilly about to join us in the booth. Let's see what he says about Justin's game when I bring up his heads-up loss to Justin, who's just taken out another tournament today. As we get Lachlan Crilly set up, we'll be with you in a moment.
2 fold. 4 fold, 2 5 fold. What?
I don't even know what it is. Yeah. I'm gonna be bad news.
Just a reminder, players, we will lock the big freeze out at the end of this current break in 5 minutes' time. We're locking the big freeze at the end of the break.
As we get set back up here, very, very warm welcome to the Eaton Hill Destroyer. Lachlan Crilly, welcome to the booth. Lachlan.
Thank you, Jinxie. It's good to be joining you here in the new setup, the new booth.
I know, up here in no man's land.
Yeah, back turn to the show, but yeah, it's a good setup, man. You got your own area.
Yeah, I like it up here. Just do your own thing. As I was just telling the viewers, your loss to Justin heads up in the Hashem Deep Stack. You came second in that for 15K.
Yeah.
He's taken out another tournament today.
I've seen it. He's on...
Josh.
He's on some kind of run. I got to give him a lot of credit. He played very, very well on that FT, battling me and Ben, and he made one of the sickest calls heads up I've seen in a while. He absolutely owned me. So he deserved the win, man. He played very, very well.
So we've just learnt, not new information to the viewers, but just to let you know, he has played 5 APT tournaments total in his life and made 4 final tables and won 2 of them.
Yeah, that's not real life.
It's not real life, is it?
I mean, that's pretty outrageous. I hope he doesn't expect that long term, but like in the short term, that's incredible. So credit to him, man. Like that's pretty unreal. So whatever he's doing, he's clearly working in these fields. So good on him. Yeah, it was very interesting. He was pretty snug on day 1, but he ramped up the aggression on day 2 on the FT. It was really impressive. He played very, very well. I was impressed.
I saw the post. He's just used to be playing pub poker, but he's obviously a lot more than a...
I could see that he definitely had a clue. Like, he's definitely been in the lab. I can see he probably has seen some charts or something because he knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how's the series been for you otherwise? You had that 15K score there. Had anything else going?
I came 4th in that one that Jared won, the 6 max, the 600.
Yep.
Kind of got cooled by Jared in that one, but it was good to see him have a win. And other than that, not really. I've had a few cheeky swaps in a few things. So been making my money elsewhere through the boys. But other than that, just had the 2 scores and yeah, staying under the radar. Pretty sick flop here.
Jeez. I mean, is Elizabeth just on the greatest tear of all time? Let's see what happens here.
This is sad times for Peter. Yeah.
I mean, it's sad times for Duncan as well, surely.
I mean, if it goes all in, Duncan might be able to get away, as sick as it sounds. Right?
And that is a snap all in.
Yeah, look
from Elizabeth Buisson. Duncan in the absolute blender.
Look, I know you flopped 2 bet, but I don't think you can call here. I don't know. We'll see what he does.
He's in a state of shock, is Duncan McKinnon.
Imagine it checking around to you and you've got like the easiest value bet of all time. And
the good thing about Duncan here, you can never be dead. Be pretty hard to be dead with his hand, but he looks to be in pretty bad shape after the all-in.
Like, you'll be hoping to be up against like a sort of hand like King Queen or like Jack 10, and then hopefully Elizabeth has some sort of like nut flush draw or something. That's probably best case.
He lays that down, does Duncan a great fold, as Pete's going to be drawing very thin here. Looking for a jack or a 10. We know one of those jacks has been folded by Duncan, so it's going to be 3 outs twice for Pete, who saved himself quite a few chips as he adds some outs to stay alive at the very least. The Queen will chop it up, but that's all over. Peter will be out in 15th place, as Duncan pretty happy with himself making that fold, I reckon.
Yeah, that was some flop, I tell you what. But great fold by Duncan. I think kind of necessary as the action goes, but good discipline regardless. Anyway,
getting a lot of love in the chat. We're talking about ROIs. Our man High Key in the chat's probably got the greatest of them all. Second to Amin Riazadi in the APL Millions main event. Love to see you in the chat. High. His first ever series, don't worry about it. He'll be at APO, he let us know. And Eden, good to see you in the chat as well. Good mates with my cousin, Eden is, so I hope he's looking after her.
There was this one guy at a WPT series. I'd only ever seen him with 2 results on Hendon Mob. And one of them was the first and another one was the second, and they were both in WPT mains.
I know who. Yeah, yes, I know that. I know that guy.
That guy might have the greatest ROI of all time. Comes in for 2 tournaments, 2 WPT mains, and just bangs off 500k and 200k.
Yeah.
Or whatever it was.
Yeah, I have seen that guy.
Yeah, that's outrageous. We're just wanting to cash him, mate.
I know. We had Craig Abernathy in the chat last night when Michelle cashed the Empire mixed game the night before. He let us know that Michelle want to get the last name right. Buslika.
Buskila or whatever. Yeah.
Second all time for Australia in cashes is Michelle. That took him to all time cashes. 229 for Michelle.
Yeah.
15 behind Mel Judah.
So he's definitely rising up there, and
229 cashes, Crilly. That's infinite.
I mean, yeah, that's insane. I was actually looking at that the other day because me and Armand were talking because we're kind of min cash merchants, and
you'd be getting up there in the.
I think we were both around like 118.
Yeah, okay.
Something like that, but like 228 is huge.
Yeah, 228. What were you on the list? Do you recall?
Like 30 something. Yeah, or something like that.
I mean, that's pretty incredible to be top 30 of everyone that's ever played in the entire country.
Yeah. I mean, I've only been on the circuit since 2022, but I think Michelle might actually he might surpass Mel by the end of the year. 15 cashes, possible.
Easy, I think he will. I see Mel at the Crown every now and then, but I don't see him playing as much. Of course, Mel.
And Michelle still travels quite a bit to the circuit.
Plays everything.
Yeah, he loves it. Him and Rob, Mr. Spano. Who knows? They might get another cash tonight in the Draw Mahal.
Yes, well, Spano left us in dramatic fashion to go play the Draw Mahal, I'm led to believe. And how has 2025 gone for you so far? Anything happening in the first few months of this year?
It's been I'd say it's been a bit testing this year. I've had a few 15k results kind of thing, but live definitely been hitting the variance end of the stick. Just been losing the big pots, at the pointy end of the tournament, where the money's involved. Big flips, 15 left or whatever, haven't really been going my way, or 70-30s kind of thing. But for me, online's been doing pretty well. Live's not been as good, but there's a long way to go throughout the year, and I'm looking forward to the APO main, which I've got a bag in. So hopefully.
You've already bagged the APO main.
Yeah.
How did that eventuate?
So end of last year, for their play-in stay, we had to play the 3.3k flight, which is their first flight.
Yeah.
And I was lucky enough to bag one of the 3 bags. So that's something in the back of my mind at the moment to look forward to.
What's the stack look like there?
It was 282,000, which is probably... I was last out of my flight, but I think it'll be over average in general, or around average, so plenty to work with. And we're in the money already, which is good.
Of course. Long, expensive series the APO will be.
So to get that off one bullet's pretty nice.
Brody, welcome to the table. Brody just turns his opponent's dead in this hand. Not much else going on for the others, though, so this could be the end of it.
Yeah, never met Brody before, but I played with him in the 6-max for a little bit. The one that Thatcher won. Played pretty well. Definitely some APT regulars still in. Good to see Sam Adams back on the felt.
Couldn't believe it when he walked in. been years since I'd seen him. I thought there must have been a Player of the Series award in town to see Sam Adams, but living overseas, I believe.
Yeah, and he's moved back here, and he's been travelling around the circuit for the start of the year.
One of the GOATs returns. He definitely has some type of APT record. It could be for trophies or final tables. He's got one of them, I think.
I mean, he had that insane series where he won everything, Goliath, main, and just took APT for all their money.
No, they're customers for all their money, including you and me.
Yeah. Yep. Well, that was before my time, but I did see it. He has one of the sickest profile pictures ever with all his trophies and the Player of the Year trophy.
That's incredible.
It's pretty cool.
What about Elizabeth Busson? 2.2 million chips. Is an infinite chip leader in this event. Have you had much dealings or play against Elizabeth in the past?
I've had snippets where I've played with her, not for a long time, but I played with her nearly all day on day one of the grind. So yesterday, she did one of the most gangster bluffs I've seen in a long time.
You have to tell me.
She opened the Ace 4-0 EP and gentlemen's, I think, called in the small or the big, and it's come. I think it came 9-7-2. Check. Oh, sorry. I think it came 7-5-2. Sorry, 7-5-2. Check C-bet call. Turn 9. Check. Double barrel. Check raise. And she's 3-bet all in on a double flush draw board with Ace 4-0. So 3-bet whacked. Unblocking both the draws. And it's been absolutely snapped off by middle set. But it was still a sick bluff. It didn't work, but she's absolutely spanned her stack up because she didn't have many yesterday. I think she didn't bag a big stack. She was down to like maybe 12 or 15K yesterday, and she's spanned it into 2.2 million.
Goodness gracious!
Because I don't think she rebought. I think she's actually spun it up. So there's been some good stories this week of some big spin-ups. I know Liam spanned in the Goliath.
That was unbelievable, to be honest. one big blind into $27,000.
And yeah, Elizabeth was very low yesterday. I think she was down to maybe 5 bigs or something like that. And looks like she's spun it into infinite.
2.2 million we're working with here. Aiden Hildebrand and Johan Lees will have their eyes on her stack.
Yeah, she's definitely... I mean, you think you can push her around, but...
folding the King 9 suited there in the hijack.
I'd probably be opening that one. But yeah, she's definitely not afraid, Elizabeth. She will get amongst it. I love her gangster look as well. Always got the sunnies on.
Always got the sunnies on.
And she's a very lovely lady too. Very, very lovely. I always enjoy sharing the felt with her.
We played her my interview with her during the break.
Yeah.
Got a lot of love. It was just a privilege to be able to bring that to everyone and have a chat to her about life and poker. And she's been playing a lot longer than any of us have been alive.
Yep.
×2, I think.
Yeah.
Of course, 80 years old, Elizabeth, 2.2 million chips. Incredible stuff.
And you wouldn't guess she's 80, would you?
No, absolutely not. You really wouldn't. She's just sharp as a tack.
She is.
Reminds me a little bit of my grandma. She bets on the TAB app every day. She's got to have her 6-leg parlay every single day. 96 years old. Can't go a day without a bet. And it gets to Christmas Day and she wonders why there's no races on. She needs her 6-leg parlay.
So you absolutely had no chance.
I had no chance. I had no chance. And my mum and dad apparently met at the races, so the story goes. And
wow,
that would explain a lot.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nah, praise your nana or your grandma. That's insane.
96, still lives alone, still does everything on her own, and still has her 6-leg parlay every day on the TAB app. Gamble responsibly, of course, but Elizabeth definitely doesn't look any part of 80.
No way.
Let alone 70. Incredible stuff. 80 years old. Rocking the Variance poker brand. Of course, seat 1 was occupied by Shelley. We just lost her before. That's her clothing brand. Really good quality stuff. Had Shelley in the booth with us yesterday, Crilly. Yep. I'd never met Shelley before. What an ambassador for the game Shelley is.
I think she's absolutely great for the game, bringing a lot of new players and helping a lot of women into the poker community as well. She's doing a great job from what I've seen. So,
very active on the socials.
She is.
How do you go? You're active on the socials, Crilly. It's something that I've spoken to you about before. Like me personally, I find like I've always asked you at times, how do you even get the time to write out those hand histories? Always trying to concentrate on the game as much as we can, and you just play it better than everyone else, and you can still write out the most lengthy hand history of all time and post it. So you're pretty active. Is that something you're trying to do all the time, or is this? Is it ADHD thing, maybe?
It might be a hyperactive brain kind of thing, I'd say. I've kind of slowed down on sending the hand histories. I just want to be more locked in, I'll be honest. It takes a bit of time.
22.25.
But yeah, I'm definitely active on the socials. I like to update and let people know what's going on because I got a small following and got family and friends who like to see how I'm going. And I like posting updates here and there. Sometimes more active than other days. But yeah, there are other days where, you know, my brain is absolutely firing at all ends and I'll be posting a million hand histories in my group chat, but not always.
Yeah, it's certainly it's an extra endeavour to be able to play and study and then put everything on social media as well. You're putting yourself out there, keeping yourself accountable. It's tough. Certainly something I probably could never do, but I don't envy you for the amount of stuff you put out. And Shelley puts out everything as well.
Yeah.
Great ambassador for the game.
Yeah, she definitely is. It's one of those things where you got to be used to copying criticism and opinions because not everyone's going to agree with what you do and how you play. So you just have to own it and, back yourself.
I mean, it is the poker industry. Not many people agree on much.
No, it's very true. Yeah.
As I just noticed, Johan folded top pair there versus George's flop straight very quickly. So
he knew his customer.
The Sydney sider was locked in.
Yep. Mr. Johan was the one who conquered me today.
Did you cash this event?
I did not. Johan absolutely pigged me in the spot. We had 15 in the small and Levy had 5 in the big. And as we saw earlier, Johan likes to put chips in the middle and all of them. We saw earlier he put it in with the Jack 6-0.
Yes.
And he put in 15 with the 10-8-0 on the button, and I had 6s, and I lost the fake flip.
That is a very fake flip.
But if it was to go to someone, I want it to go to a friend, of course.
Of course. We saw Johan put George to the test with the ace-queen. George with middle pair, and Johan with the nut flush blocker and straight blocker as well. I was going absolutely bonkers in commentary, and I've only just found out that the sound was off. So I would have wished I'd been able to bring that one to you as Liz limps the hijack with the ace-3. She limped MP before with ace-5-0. She does these unconventional things from time to time. Is this something that you've noticed? Actually, we might have some interaction here. Let's see what Brody does.
Especially with Johan's image, like it could look like he's just attacking a weaker range, like a weaker limp. So Brody might attack this. We'll see how he navigates. Looks like he's going to play a call.
What are we working with here? 25-ish? And Liz snap bins the ace-3.
Actually, don't mind this. You're going to dominate some ISOs, and when you do jam, it's hard to get called by worse. So I like this call here. Ace-10 suited plays well post.
Not much going here for Brody other than that backdoor flush draw.
Yeah, we do have, ace-high, backdoor straight, backdoor flush. Depending on Johan's sizing, we could definitely float. Definitely deep enough.
What size are we coming here with Krilly if we're Johan?
I like to quarter these spots, but I know Johan likes to pick sometimes some bigger sizings. He sometimes goes third, but looks like he's going to go just over the quarter, which seems fine to me.
Deep enough to float, you did mention. Do we think we float versus this size with our hand here, Lachlan?
I think it's close. I think it all comes down to how wide you think Johan's going to be ISOing the limp. I think our hand might be too good. I think we might have to call one.
He does agree.
If Johan starts going a bit bigger, we won't get to realise our back doors, but when he goes around that quarter, we can probably call.
As the flush draw comes off on the turn. Thoughts here, Krillin?
From Johan?
Yeah.
I mean, Johan's probably trying to pick something up. I mean, you can go two ways. You could bet small again, but you could also just check back as well, which I like. I like check back. You don't want to get check raise. It's pretty grim. I mean, Not the best river for Johan. If we're Brody here, we might have to start turning our hand into a bluff, I think. But he's going to take the fakest of showdowns, and he'll probably never win when it goes check-check.
Does shake the head. And Johan will show the ace-king and take that one down. Over 1.3 million now for the Sydney sider, as a bit of love in the chat for George. Played against George much, Crilly?
A lot. A lot. So for those who don't know, I live very close to Eatons Hill. I live like 2 minutes away, and Empire's down the road. And George, you know, part owner, but also regular.
Yeah, okay.
Absolute reg. I think he's #1 on the all-time Empire money list, and he plays absolutely everything. So when I do go down there, play a lot with George. Awesome dude.
Have you got amongst those time tournaments?
I have been in there. Probably not as much recently because there's been a lot of poker on, but I do enjoy them. It's fun to play, you know, kind of like a cash style. You know, it is their tournament, but it's cool to play deep with guys, and they do like rotation as well. Play some PLO, which is cool to change things up from the 2-card game that we play.
As Liz decides to bin the ace-3.
So yeah, Johan has started getting the nickname Johan. Have you heard that story of how he got the Johan?
All I got told was to keep calling him Johan. I haven't heard the story behind it, but I've been just told to keep doing it, so that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, it is a decent one.
Is it safe for stream? Or?
It is safe for stream.
Okay.
I won't name the person who was calling him Johan, but so the night of when I shaved my head, that's the night that Cooper and Johan came in, and they've been staying with me this week. And they came to Empire to support, and Cooper played the tournament. And when Johan walked in, one of the staff there was talking to Cooper because Cooper was in the commentary and was like, "No way, is that Johan? I've seen Johan before. I've seen him.
Oh, no.
Wasn't Johan the one who won the opening?" And just kept referring to him as Johan. So it's starting to stick.
Goodness gracious.
And we do love our boy Johan.
We do. We do. I knew there had to be something behind it when I got told that I have to specifically call him Johan. So it's either the fact that he hates it or there is some story behind it. Could be both. Could be both. As Sam Adams will look to defend the 5-4 of spades here. And has managed to outflop Brody. Probably will look to continue on this board. Comes with a third.
Seems like a pretty easy call here.
Five-4 still in the lead. Brody will need an ace or a deuce or a triple barrel, I'd say, to take this one down. This comes with check. And the 5 will come home here. Would you prefer to bet there from Brody with the gutter?
I think so. I think our hand's just not good enough to take the showdown. I think it's going to go check-check, and he hopes he wins. But, I mean, when you have a 4, you kind of block the 6-4. And, I mean, Sam would probably start check-raising some gutters like 6-7. So our hand's perceived as showdown, but I just don't expect us to win that often. So we really want to start targeting a 5 or a 3 on the turn, start pressuring, and I think this is a clear one where we start triple barreling off.
You prefer to do that with your gutters in spots like that, Crilly?
Yeah, I think so, and I think it's nice. You kind of unblock the ace-X of hearts as well. You have ace-4-0 with the 4 of hearts, so he can call with an ace-high hand, call the turn with ace-X of hearts or a pair and a flush draw, but it's very hard to call the triple off.
Yeah.
Especially for tournament life deep in a tournament. And that's the thing about opening these marginal hands is we have to be willing to get the EV by tripling off and bluffing because we're not going to hit the best hand a lot of the time.
Insights from the greatest player ever to walk into Eatons Hill, Lachlan Crilly, grew up around the corner. Did you start playing pub poker in the local area before you started coming down to APT? How was your progression into the game?
I did, Jinxie. So my absolute local is the Stafford Tavern.
Okay.
Which is 15 minutes up the road. They do incredible 2 for 20 steak dinners.
Ooh, hello.
Unreal. And I used to play like a $2 entry. What is it, like 10 years ago now?
My God.
When I was
$2
18.
entry. You've come a long way.
And I used to be intimidated by the Stafford Regs when I used to walk in because I didn't know much. And I thought they were all pros. And slowly progressed into some, $10 and stuff. And I had a bit of hiatus from poker for a little while. Played some online for a little bit. And then in 2022 was kind of when we came onto the circuit at APT.
There you go, the $2 pub games, huh?
Yeah, I remember we used to get a spend card, and if you bought your meal, you'd get it signed, the 5 little marks or whatever, and you get extra chips for getting your spend card. And I was a broke uni student, so I was always disadvantaged. I could never fill it out.
Goodness me. What did you study at uni?
I studied exercise and sports science. So that progressed me into physiotherapy, but didn't end up progressing into that because you could say deviated and then went into running my cleaning business and then have transitioned into poker now.
That is definitely a road less travelled.
Yeah.
University, cleaning business, and professional poker player.
Yeah, it's definitely...
I dare say that degree will never get used.
We'll see. We'll see. It's definitely in the back pocket if I ever want to go back, and it's something that can be used in other things. It's kind of like a pathway degree in a way.
Yeah.
You can go into physiology or physio or even like some other sporting things or even teaching.
Of course, as Aidan Hildebrandt probably be taking this one down.
Yeah, interesting. He takes his combo maybe without a diamond, but I mean, probably doesn't expect to get check raised too often as well. So we'll be able to realise, which is cool.
Who's your pick to win from here? I mentioned that obviously we try to be impartial as we can up here, but Aidan Hildebrandt is probably the most underrated player in the country, I'd say, and obviously he's stepped away from poker for a while for his business too, and as soon as he's on the felt, he's someone you don't want on your table. So he was my pick to take it down. I will. Yeah, we can.
Do we have any idea who's on the other table?
So CVJ, Adam Thagard, Romain Movan is there as well, and the great Michael Wicks is also still in the garage.
Oh, I honestly, one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet.
Ever.
But I tell you what, he's also one of the funnest to have on the table. You have no idea what he's up to, but it's a heap of fun.
He final tabled the main at Gold Coast as he provided us some of the most incredible hand histories of all time. So definitely. So who would your pick be out of those? I'm going with Aidan. I'd love Elizabeth to take this one down, but I mean, just to your comment, Amok, I know everyone in the scene knows that Aidan is a beast, and he has been for a long time. But if you're just tuning in on the streams in the last 6 to 12 months, you may not be super familiar with Aidan's name, but he is a beast. You are correct. So
I mean,
who are you going with?
I mean, it's hard to go against my boy Johan. He always gets a result at every series.
Who?
Mr. Johan. Mr. Johan. He always just seems to win an event at every series he goes to. He's just won the opening event. He's not afraid where, some people might tighten up. I did say Shelley and I kind of have a side bet going on as well for our top 3. And I said that Johan might come second, Elizabeth might come third, and it might be someone we don't know who wins. Because it's usually a grind thing.
It
is just a grind thing. So, but I also think Aiden's a great pick. He is very, very good at the game and very smart. So, a lot of experienced players still in, which is great. And a lot of good people. So, I wouldn't mind seeing anyone from here. Even the great Michael. I'd love to see him do well.
I just want Michael on the FT.
Yeah, please.
I just want Michael on the FT
I just love how he just plays the 7 deuce just because he just feels like playing. It'll be funny to show it in someone's face.
Yeah, that is the Michael Wicks. As if you are interested, we had a couple of questions in the chat for where our next series is. Obviously, good friends at APO get down to there for the Australian Poker Open at Dalton House in New South Wales. But for us, Sydney, July 25th to August the 6th would be our next series. Venue and details to be announced. Sydney, July 25th to August 6th. I won't be joining you for that one. Me and my partner will be on the other side of the world.
Yeah, having a trip to Europe, aren't you,
trip to
Jinxie?
Europe, so I won't be here for Sydney. Whoever can warm my seat, maybe some of our guest commentators, even yourself, Krilly, could fill the spot. I know CVJ, also a poker commentator for APL as well. Maybe he'll be in the mix, but I won't be joining you in Sydney. So let's see what happens there as Duncan moves all in.
Bit of a shame. You are pretty good in the commentary booth, Jinxie. I know that you get a lot of love.
Yes.
And you provide a lot of entertainment, which is great.
I do. I'm not good at playing. I'm not good at playing at all, so maybe...
I mean, I feel like you've been on the rough end of the stick for a little bit.
Yeah,
but you found your sweet spot.
I do definitely enjoy this, but me and Peter are off to Belgium and Spain in August and July, so I won't be joining you here. Be interesting to see who takes the seat.
Any festivals in line?
I am going to Tomorrowland.
You are going to Tomorrowland?
Yes, I am. I booked weekend 2 for Tomorrowland, so...
Unbelievable.
I may not be the Sydney series, but I may not be in an APT series ever again. So I won't be coming home from Tomorrowland.
Unbelievable. Do you have someone you're most excited to see?
I actually haven't had a really good look at the... John Summit's in Melbourne at the moment, but I think Peter might have went there last night. I'm pretty keen to see John in Tomorrowland.
He was just in Brisbane, actually, I think,
so
the other day.
Yeah.
The other day, yeah. We missed out. I think it was maybe Thursday night.
It's one of those trips where I know absolutely nothing about. I was just told to give money to Peter, and she's booked the whole trip. So we are really looking forward to that one as we have some confrontation here. 6s versus 7s of Aiden.
Too easy.
We love your contribution in the chat. Hi, we don't have full details there for Sydney, so keep an eye on our socials. Hope to see you at the Australian Poker Open in a couple of weeks' time. As if you are looking to support any of the players that were on the stream prior, they haven't been knocked out. We had a redraw at 16, so we had a random redraw with 16 left, and CVJ is on the outer secondary table, and it looks like Adam Thagard is out there as well. Romain Movan could potentially still be in, but CVJ is definitely still in, but they are over on that other table. So it looks like Romain Movan has what we call up here a clown stack.
Yeah, absolutely infinite.
So just got to remember, we commentate this to you on the stream off the delay, so it's hard for us to bring updates from other tables. But
we definitely don't want to spoil it for you guys at home.
Yeah, but we have a little bit of something happening here as George picks up the pocket queens.
Tell you what, Romain was very short today, and I definitely helped him get a few more chips when I doubled him up.
Seems to be quite common. You've doubled up a fair few people deep in this event.
Yeah, I did. I peaked up 514, and then within 1.5 levels, I was on the rail.
And as Aiden just sizing up the stack of Brody decides to lay that one down. He was
thinking of scamming.
He was, and you wouldn't put it past Aiden Hildebrand. Of course, in a sling. Pick the sport. Have a guess at the sport that Aiden has fractured his shoulder in. You know the answer, do you?
I know the answer because I'm in the team that he fractured it in.
Are you really?
Yeah.
We have a guest commentator out the back. I can see Liam G, who maybe you can guess the sport that the fractured shoulder's been suffered in. Oh! You haven't me on here. You haven't me on.
Liam's absolutely banged off. He was goalkeeping in an indoor soccer team, and that is the answer.
So that's why you see Aiden here in the sling. And we have 13 left here, so 4 more eliminations, and we'll have our final table. And we're going to be with you all night until the culmination of this event. And the winner, who'll take home 46,000 Australian dollars. Wouldn't go Australia, would it, Krilly?
Tell you what, I'd do a lot for $46,000.
If you...
Tell you what,
yeah,
just me and Nathaniel just want 2024 back.
What a year you two had. As we turn around over our right shoulder, we can see Nathaniel Hutton's banner up in the room.
Yeah, he had one of the great years on the Australian circuit. Not going to lie. He played incredible and got some insane results, and always love seeing my mates do well.
Already taken down a trophy this week in the Midday Madness.
He has, and he's let us all know about it too.
What about the Midday Madness winners this week so far?
Reg.
All regs. Jonathan, Nathaniel, I'm missing someone else. CVJ, correct.
So is that a 250 or a 350? Do you know? 350? I tell you what, imagine, waking up early thinking all the regs are going to be jumping in the 1K, and then you just see Nathaniel or CVJ or Jonathan in there. Not bad though, 4.5 lacquers up top.
It's pretty incredible. I've mentioned this a couple times on the stream, but Nathaniel, when he won his event, the 3rd place getter was a fella by the name of Larry Cassidy. Now, I don't know if you know that name, but
I am well aware.
If you don't know who Larry is, he is a long-time jockey, but something a lot of people won't know about Larry, and you can ask him if he is in the room, was the first jockey to ride the Great Winks
Really?
He actually rode Winx for a couple
Wow.
of races, and back in the day, Sunline as well. So he's more than happy to talk about his escapades on Winx. If you ask him, he's in the room quite regularly, loves his poker.
He is also an Empire regular.
Yeah.
Play with him a lot. Great dude, and he said he's selling a lot of his trophies as well. So
Okay.
if you want a Larry trophy,
Get a
you
hold.
can definitely hit him up.
Yeah. It seems other than that one massive multi-way crawl, it's very little collision at the moment. Good luck, gentlemen.
Okay. As we have a confrontation here, Duncan all in and at risk with pocket threes. Sam Adams, ace queen suited.
I mean,
what are we feeling here?
I was going to say it, but Sam always feels inevitable in these spots.
Duncan looking for a three or a three only, and Duncan McKinnon's grind will be over, literally and figuratively. But props to Duncan. You know, he should, like, lesser players would be out with that king jack.
Yeah,
hand.
that was a great fold.
Folding top two versus Liz's flopped straight.
I mean, sad to see Sam dunk on him, but there it is. Sam seems to just win the important pots at the important time, huh?
Sentiment shared by you in the chat. Amok saying the last time Sam lost a flip was when you were a toddler. Well, I mean, with the amount of player of the series Sam Adams won, we could be on the right path as Johan looking to chip into Liz's stack here, 1.2 million. He was your tip to win the event.
I tell you what, I knocked Sam out of a tournament the other week or like the other month at Cyprus, and I don't think I've beat him in a pot ever since that. I thought I was the chosen one to beat him in pots. I was mistaken.
Now, I just learnt that the sound was off when your pick for the tournament, Johan, ran that outrageous bluff on George.
Yep.
Did you catch the hand history there? Because talk about that river sizing. I'd love...
So did George called in the cutoff? He's called in the cutoff, yeah.
Correct. So the pot's 300 and George has 585 behind. And I was on commentary thinking this could be a meaty size, but Johan went with the 2x pot. Unfortunately, the sound was off. So do you have a feeling?
I think it comes down to when we talk about like capping ranges. So when George bets flop and then checks back the turn, especially when the backdoor flush draw is coming in a way, rotation is capping his range. So you kind of take out the strongest hands out of his range, and he looks like he might just have a 10, or at best 2-pair, at best. So we expect him to bet 2-pair or better on the turn. So we expect him to just have a 1-pair hand, and we just know that ace-queen is just never winning at showdown. So to get him off for 10, we want to test him for all of it. And we just have a really good card with the ace of clubs. So even his...
Queen works well also, right?
Queen is very good, but I think the ace is nice because when George bet checks, he could be checking back the nut flush draw, but now we block that. So, and he might continue his king x of clubs on the turn. So now we don't expect him to have clubs. We expect him to have a 10 a lot at a time. And also from an exploitable point of view, putting people to the test for all their chips is always a lot scarier than pot. So when you say the words all in, it always means a bit more.
George had that look on his face too, like he knew he was being had, but really couldn't do anything about it.
Exactly. So I think Johan's done really well. If he bets, under pot, he's getting called, but there's something about people just wanting to stick alive. So when you put them to the test for all their chips, it's scary to face, to be honest, because he can still pass or fold and still be in the tournament with a good stack. And Johan is very, very good at picking up on weakness as well.
As we're seeing that here, as the 890 might be getting through some backdoor opportunities for Aiden, but it isn't going to eventuate. Johan takes another one down. No.
20,000 or 40,000 a day.
Yes. We thank you for your contribution, Lachlan Crilly. It's always good for players throughout the week to share their time. We had Liam Murray in here today on his 36th birthday. Came in for an hour, pretty generous of him.
Yeah, especially on his birthday. I'm sure he had plans, but shout out to Liam. Happy birthday to him. I hope he had a good day.
His plan was the 450 freeze out, mate. That's what his plan was.
I tell you what, when you get sucked in, you don't leave this industry, do you?
No, you certainly don't. Liam, one of the greats, obviously lost one of the sickest bubble hands of all time, really.
Yeah, I know.
Goliath, Ace Jack O versus Ace Jack O.
Yeah, I feel from there because he played very well, and I know it can be very disappointing when you play well and you cop one of those, but that's just part of the game.
He actually working really hard on his game. He mentioned here for probably the first time ever. You know, he's always been flicking these high binds, but now he's actually knuckling down to try and study and learn more about.
Which I'm always, happy to see when players are wanting to sharpen their game and improve. And Liam's trying to add a bit more theory to his game because he's always played these games, but hasn't really studied as much. But all obviously talked hands, but he's really trying to sharpen, and credit to him, man. It'll take him places for sure.
Absolutely. And I asked how things were at home with the 18-month-old, and he just admitted that basically Nash has slept for 10 to 12 hours a night every night since he's been born. I was just like...
Sounds like a dream.
But just lie to the viewers. No one wants to hear that. New mums or parents want to hear that someone else's baby slept for 12 hours a night. So they're obviously doing really well at home with his wife, Tay, who was actually on the stream with us playing in the Empress. We streamed the Empress for an hour or so on Thursday night, which was a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, good to see the turnout there for all the ladies.
38 runners was great. Hit the guarantee as well.
Which is amazing. It's funny you say that about parents not wanting to hear that other people's children are sleeping well. I remember when Mum used to like to tell the story about how I was, the dream kid. I used to sleep all the time, easily fed, always went to bed, slept incredibly, and all the parents hated it. And they were like, that's not right, you just wait. And then Mum had my sister and she found out all about it. It was all over because my sister was a nightmare.
Could have been a bit of interaction here as Johan checks not the full house, my apologies. It's been a long week.
Yeah, he's got the blockers.
Yeah, he's got the blockers to the full house. As Aiden decides to knuckle this one back. And it will pay dividends as the jack hits on the river. Could have a bit of fireworks here potentially, depending on how this hand goes down. Let's see.
I think this is just going to go check. Be surprised if Aiden goes pretty thin here. Johan can still have some 9x and even some flushes, but we'll see what he does. I mean, you'd hate to bet and then get check raise, to be honest. I would probably knuckle this one back, but...
He is deep in the tank thinking about this one. He's going to go thin. Aiden Hildebrand, what a beast he is.
Yes, he...
Knows exactly where he's at versus Johan.
Interesting to block in position. See what Johan does here. I mean, he's got a pretty good candidate.
Oh, no. The candidate's gone because you just raised the eyebrows. So there's no bluff. It's only going to be a hero or not.
Yeah, funny you say that. He raised the eyebrows against me and check raised all in. So, okay.
Yeah, he's paying it off.
Yeah.
He throws the chips over and knows intuitively, subconsciously that those are going over to Aiden. We had a funny moment in the grind yesterday where Ray Wang put Michael Kalin all in. Michael Kalin with the Queen Jack on Jack 10-7, Jack 3.
Yes.
So it was basically the best hand he could have. The flush came in on the river. Ray with the nut flush blocker. Michael Kalin decided to bet small. Ray jammed over the top. And it sent Michael Kalin deep into the tank.
In the blender.
And he grabbed his chips. and he moved them over into Ray's stack as a call, knowing that he thought he was going to be out of the tournament. And he got up out of his chair. He made it back to this back banner here of this APT banner until he realised Ray was bluffing. So Michael Kalin's still in the event after that. It was on stream. If anyone wants to go back and have a look at it.
That's an all-timer.
That was an all-timer. He moved his chips into Ray's stack. Thought he was going to be eliminated, but he was still in, and he was deep in this event. Not sure that he cashed, but he bagged quite a few chips from that hand.
Very, very good bloke Michael is.
He is a legend.
Always love sharing the felt with him.
And Liz raises this one up, blind v blind. And we will see a flop.
I mean, that's a pretty good flop for Liz, isn't it?
It certainly is. As
checks
this one back. Not much going there for Sam, but he's going to take a stab. And
Vegas the Mirage for Liz. Let's see if she flats. Throws it in his direction.
As we are at 1530k. The
wow.
peels off on. This could be a candidate.
I tell you what, Sam might absolutely blast this. We talk about cap ranges, and I think Sam might think...
It looks like about 180, just north of half.
I don't think this one's going to get through from Sam.
Oh, she's just... She's 1.5x pot all in, and Sam is going to rue the day he took Elizabeth Buson to the streets.
Not just the all-in, but the wave all-in.
The wave all-in.
Yeah.
That is a Elizabeth Buson special. What a pot there for Liz. A monumental chip leader in this event. 2.4 million. I don't even know how many big blinds that is. About 80?
Yep, 80 bigs. Absolutely flying.
As the 1.5x pot jam on the river with the stone colds. Would love to see it. I mean, can you blame Sam for really firing, especially when it's a four-liner to a deuce on the river? There's no twos in Liz's range. It's hard to...
I think it comes down to Liz checking back flop. I think Sam probably expects her to, you know, better best holdings, you know, top of her range with her best ace-x on the flop, or even flush draws on the flop. So when she checks back, he probably thinks that she's got a weak ace at best, or maybe like a good king X holding, or maybe some sort of pair underneath the ace of the king. So he's just going to double barrel off, but he definitely ran into it. Yeah, Liz has definitely been sneaky with some spots. She does like to check back top pairs, or check out a position with top pairs, and people have been running into it. So
as we have thoroughly enjoyed your time here in the booth. We're very happy here at APT. You're very generous with your time. You always come in, and it's been a pleasure to have you and take us through some hands. We were sorry to bring up your heads-up loss in the Hashem deep stack. But look, I mean, it can't be bad when the guy that you lost to literally won a tournament the next day.
I mean, the man is on fire at the moment, Jinxie, and it's a pleasure to come in and share the booth with you, man.
It's always good to get your insight. We'll keep you here until the break. I think we've got maybe only 2 or 3 hands to go, as Aiden is going to raise up the ace 3 of hearts. George here with 10s. That looks like 3-betting chips in hand.
160.
And we will be swapping tables. So if you're a fan of CVJ, Romain Movan, I reckon Adam Thagard was still in potentially as well. And the great Michael Wicks is still in as well. Crilly, he'll be on stream.
I tell you what, there will be some fireworks with Michael on stream.
Wouldn't be going anywhere, as we've got some action potentially happening here as Liz with an absolute infinite stack. Have a look at those chips piled up. You know what I love about Liz too? She's got all of her time banks left as well. Doesn't muck around.
No, she doesn't. She usually figures out what she's doing pretty early on. I mean, this one's probably worth some thought.
find a fold here in the end, you think, Lachlan?
Personally, knowing George and how he plays, I'd probably put this one in the muck. Yeah, Johan, quick muck with the 7s.
Unless Aiden knocks me out.
And that is going to be the last hand as Aiden puts that one into the muck. And we're going on a 15-minute break. So we're going to get a table change. These fellas and lovely ladies will be leaving us and the other table will be coming on. Lachlan Crilly, cannot thank you enough for your time in the booth. It's a pleasure. The seat's always open. Thank you so much for coming in.
Pleasure, Jinxie. Thank you for having me, and good luck to everyone still in.
We'll see you in 15 minutes' time. Don't go anywhere. 12 left in the Goliath, $46,000 up top.
morning. Oh.
That's in half an hour.
As we welcome you back to our coverage of the final 12 of the grind. $1,250 buy-in. We are in the money, top 20 pay, and a cool $46,000 up top. We thank Lachlan Crilly for his contribution in the booth. But I reckon we can one-up you here. Our new guest for the next couple of levels. I've managed to get Liam Jihu back in the booth. Welcome, Liam.
Thanks, mate. Thanks for having me again. It's good to be back.
Now, you did get third in the Goliath this week for $27,000. Any luck since then?
I mid-cashed one other event, the 1650 feature bounty for 2.8k.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
We came on stream and we were setting up and we saw your chips in the middle and you were out before we even started to commentate.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. I mean, I couldn't really complain. I played for about 45 minutes before backing up for FT, so can't really complain with a $1,200 profit. But yeah, that's just, besides that, I bagged the main event, first bullet, only a valiant and courageous stack of 48k. But besides that, yeah, no other cashes. But I mean, I had a pretty good series. So
now, when you were in the booth with us early on, you came in to commentate the heads up between Naj and Jen. You mentioned your target event for this series was the $1,500 Seven Max. Any luck?
I actually did. I did fire a bullet. However, the turnout wasn't probably as good as what it was, maybe advertised to be, or I thought it was going to be. So I only ended up getting about 10 runners, which is a bit sad. But I did my one bullet, and then decided to call it there and just focus on the other stuff, basically. So.
And people will be happy to hear APT ambassador Jared Thatcher takes out his second trophy of the week by taking down the Luke Edwards 7 Max 1500 for 8k, beating Dan Johnson heads up for $8,000 as Michael Wicks contemplating if his 1.5 bigs is good enough. Oh man, it's 1.7 bigs, I guess. Good enough for Queen 6. What are we thinking here, Liam?
I'd probably let this one go. He's got a full orbit. Actually, it's 6-handed. I mean, you can't really make a mistake. You can kind of go either way. Maybe ICM, you could probably take a better spot. You got 3 more hands still. But it's also nice having only face 2 players with Queen High. So
as we have a recap of our grind event here, Romain Morvan, what a 12 months in poker he's had. 1.5 million, looking to add 46,000 to his resume. And on his right, Jigsy Reyes.
I think that makes sense.
There's a lot more just 1 fives than 2 fives.
Oh, it's couples.
Jigsy Reyes, I see, with 1.5 million as well. Of course, Jigsy took down the Players Championship, the Drakakis Players Championship, the 12K ring and $30,000. So Jigsy looking to add $46,000 to his resume for the week. What about Queen 5 suited, Lamb? Surely.
Yeah, I can put my life savings on it that Michael, the Unicorn Wikes, will not be letting go of the Queen 5 suited here. I love Michael. He's a legend. Drives a G. If you're driving a G-Wagon, I don't think we're letting Queen 5 suited.
Is he really?
Yeah, he's a legend. He's an absolute legend. I was walking outside. He's like,
No,
Michael. Oh, there it goes. All $14 gone.
Good to see a little bit of restraint there, I guess.
I'm shocked.
Are we on a jump also potentially? If we can just get the payouts up on the screen. As I won't be able to do that, but we could be on a jump maybe.
Michael's a legend though. I just busted the grind with my mate Chris, who I'm staying with, and we were just getting some sun out on the grass paddock next door to the venue, and we're just shirts off, just baking in some sun. Ordered some food, and my buzzer was going off. I walked over, and my buzzer kept buzzing, obviously, and then I hear this, "Oh, Liam, is that your phone?" I turn around, and it's Michael. Standing with his G-Wagon car door open in the back seat. He's like trying to find something with the LV Sunny. He's like, "Oh, is that your phone?" I was looking for my phone. I thought I dropped it because I kept hearing the buzz. I was like, "Oh, hey mate, what a legend!" Though. It's like a 400k car or something. Oh,
that's the cheapest one.
Yeah, I was like, "Geez."
Oh, that is.
Maybe
hilarious.
that's why. Well, maybe he's making those folds, and he would have busted it.
We are on a jump, so we are on a $600 jump. So if you finish 12th. You'll get 3,300 and 11th will be 3,900. So we do have a $500 jump, a $600 jump, sorry. So maybe that is a reason why Michael put the Queen 5 suited in the bin. And he would be out of the tournament if he put those chips in the middle. So it could earn him $600 if someone busts before him. As Darren would have looked him up in the big one with ace-9, and Michael would be out of here, but...
That's why he's got the G-Wagon and we don't.
That's very correct. How is the BMW going, Liam?
Yeah, she's good. She's parked outside, free of bull ants. I had a bull ant infestation where there was a nest growing and there was about 100 million eggs of bull ants growing in the backseat of my car.
It's the most poker player thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, I just inhabited my car during the cyclones whilst I was in Melbourne and had to get an exterminator. So
how did your car survive the cyclone on the street?
I was fully expecting a tree to be through it when I came back. But yeah, she's going well. She's going well.
As I did ask Krilly his pick, tried to remain as impartial as possible up here, but Krilly did pick Johan to take home the grind. Who would your pick be from this table and from Vague Knowledge as who's on the other table? We've still got CVJ, Aiden Hildebrandt as well. Who would your pick be from here, Liam?
Romain Morvan would be my pick. I think he's the best player in the field and he's also got the most chips. So I would be locking him in as my clear favourite. CVJ is always a good shout. CVJ always seems to be a good shout for second or third. He's got a bit like me. I'm always good for third, but I reckon CVJ will probably come second. I reckon Jigsy will come third. I reckon Liz will come fourth, and I reckon Romain will win. That's my top four.
Oh, okay. We'll lock that in.
That's my exact.
That is the first four.
Yeah.
As surely the Queen Jack goes in, Liam. It has to, doesn't it?
Come on, Michael. It's got to.
And it's got to go in, surely. So we are on a $600 jump. It's good to see someone like Michael, who does drive the G-Wagon, very conscious of a $600 jump. That's why the time bank goes into the middle there, and they're all gone. It's funny to see all of these guys basically without time banks yet. Liz just got a full stack of time banks, so she's still got a full 10 over on the other table. As Michael tanking for this $600 jump.
I think he's going to... You know what you could do here? I would go for the call to really maximise the time. But I think he's just going to put it in. And he does.
And he does.
Good luck, Mike.
Good luck, Michael.
Jigs decides to fold with the ace. Oh, no. Sorry, he calls. Yep. Calls, makes a little bit more sense.
How funny is it when you're just like, you're making tight folds, you're trying to wait for the best hand possible, you finally wait for it, you get it with the queen jack, and you just instantly on your left get called by a better hand. you just can't even get through one, just straight away.
I wonder if Hassan's probably got to put some form of chips in the middle.
Probably good for him as well with the incentivizing, trying to knock a player out with the pay jump as well, being a short stack himself. So
I'll tell you what, Michael Wicks more than will triple up here. And I dare say there's nearly no way out for anyone. Oh, sorry.
No, what's he done?
Well, I mean, we've got bottom pair for both players, so there's only 1-7 left in the deck. Jigsy can also hit an ace. Oh, I'm so sorry, Michael. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Oh, no, Michael.
No diamond in the hand for either player as Hassan goes to check, and Michael's getting out of the seat. And the 10 comes in on the river. We'll say goodbye to Michael Wicks. However,
pending a huge bluff here.
Nah. All cards, please. You win. No.
It would have been sick to see Big H Slick pull off some insane big bet on the river to see an A7 fold and Michael stays alive.
I think that is a tough beat there for Michael. Very conscious of the pay jumps. Good to see as he shakes everyone's hand on the way out.
Always a good sport.
11 left here in the grind. 46,000 up top. Now, if you were tuning in to keep watching Liz Busson, she is not. She's not out. She's just on our secondary table. So we've got 6 on that table over there. It looks like Johan Lees is still in with CVJ, George, Brody, and Liz. So we lose 2 more, and we'll be on our final table, Liam. Remain probably, really liking where he's at the moment with 1.5 million, 1.8, apologies.
Yeah, he's just such a gun player. I mean, he came in today, did the one bullet, registered day 2, and he's now chip leading, or at least second in chips.
He loves it. He loves the Max Late Reg one bullet, doesn't he?
I was speaking to him. I was like, well, why'd you not come? Like, Thingo. He's like, oh, bro, like, why would I come up? And but he's like, why would I come up? Why would I pay the accommodation when I could just come up? Reg day 2. He's a proper grinder. Embodies the true spirit of the grind. Where he's like, I'm not gonna pay all the travel rake and travel tax with your common stuff. I'll just come flick a couple here or there.
And look where he is.
Exactly.
We will let the graphics catch up here as we find out Romain Morvan has the ace-queen suited. It looks like CVJ will defend.
I think he had the 5-4 row, didn't he? CVJ?
No, it'll catch up. So...
Jack 9 suited.
As Hassan folded king-queen in the small off 20?
No, yeah,
no,
20.
It's off. No, it's 40k big blinds.
Okay.
So he might have just come with a deck grade, Hassan. It looked like he folded king queen there off about 15 bigs. He would have been snapped off by Romain. That's an extraordinary. Goodness me.
It's a find. It's a find. It's a great fold in practice.
Well, I mean, look what's happened here. He would have been snapped off by Romain as Corey turns second pair to go along with his flush draw. Yeah, I can confirm.
We're going to see a big bet here. 200k minimum.
You're bang on the money, Liam Jihu. That's why you came third in the grind only a couple of days ago. 225 is the price of poker for Corey van Jaarsveld.
Such a good turn card for Corey here as well. Now,
all options on the table here, Liam. Talk us through it.
I think just a clear call. No need to turn this hand into a merger or a bluff. Your chips are so valuable. When called, we're not going to be in amazing shape, probably about 30% at max. So I would just come with call here. We're going to see a lot of Romain's king high, type hands that'll probably shut down after facing 2 calls. So
VJ agrees. That looks like it's a jack on the river.
It's a king. King of spades.
I apologise as we're trying to predict the action.
It could be a jack. I don't know. Yeah, king of spades.
As the goes check. Romain takes down a monstrous pot there after that big turn size. Gets rewarded He's closing in on 40% of the chips of this table, 2.2 million. A bit of a hit there for CVJ, down to 20 bigs, but he was down to less than 15 on the bubble and managed to spin that one up, so familiar territory for CVJ. Shout out to Corey's mum, who was cheering on her son in the chat
Check for the pearls.
earlier today. Hope you're still with us to
I
watch
did that last time
CVJ
to
try
Adam
and win
and he had
his
it.
lion's share
I was
of the
like,
40,000.
jack off
100k
high on
guarantee
the river.
we had for this. That was
Stupid
completely and
boss.
utterly
Like,
obliterated.
14.
168 runners.
No, sorry.
How many bullets into the grind were we, Liam?
How
How many of the 168 were yours?
37.50 minus admin fee. So I did what?
3 bullets.
Yeah, 3 bullets. So 3.3k, and the prize pool was me.
There you go.
Yeah, I tend to, we'll say, take maybe higher variance routes in these unlimited re-entry tournaments, especially with these 1K big runner field tournaments. I think.
I asked Jared what his record for the grind was. Have a guess. He's not as extraordinary as some stories we've heard, but he.
And then you saw that top and like,
Have a guess at
Then we
Jared's
see that
max
river.
bullets in the grind specifically.
I mean, I'm going to assume it's upwards of about towards the 10 region, right?
Yeah, no, I thought so too, but 6 was his max.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't expect him to do that many, but like when you brought it up, I was like, well, maybe there's some sort of sick story here. I don't know.
I think, but what came up when I asked Jared is we managed to work out, we think the record, gamble responsibly of course, but we think the record of bullets in the grind is 12. And we won't name that person, but if anyone has fired more than 12 and wants to tell us or knows of anyone firing more than 12 bullets in the grind, but that's our record.
Respect. Shout out to High Key.
He won.
Who was it?
The 12 bullet man won the tournament.
Now I must know.
Shout out to Travis Enderby in the chat. Always tuning into the streams. Love his contribution.
You got High Key there, second place in the APL Millions main event for about $500,000.
In his 3rd tournament ever. Love to see High in the chat. And Misty, you're still in the chat supporting your son, CVJ.
Shout out to Craig Abernathy as well. As we see the red hot favourite here, flop top 2, BBB.
And a bit of love for Johan in the chat. He's not out. We had a table change. So 2 more eliminated, and we're going to have another break after. Oh, as Romain shows that one.
Angry in French captioned here on the subtitles.
Johan is still in, as well as.
No. I don't want to hear that now.
As well as Elizabeth. They're just on that other table. But if you stick around, 2 more eliminated. We'll have our feature table, our final table, and with the names that are on these 2 tables, you wouldn't be going anywhere.
And we've seen that throughout the series so far. We've seen a really good mixture of, recreationals, from
Naj doing these Naj doing Naj things.
We've seen some really good pros. We've seen some, recreationals, ranging from literally 18 to about 80 years old. We've seen a really good mixture, and we've seen, I guess, just sort of in these last few tournaments, a lot of the really good pros have sort of rose to the top here, which you don't always see. So we've seen some pretty, good level of poker here on these feature tables, which is made for good viewing.
I don't want to bring it up. I don't want to bring it up, Liam, but have you managed to check out the Australian poker schedule reel that was put out yesterday?
I got no idea what you're talking about, mate. I got no idea what you're talking about.
What a job Craig Abernathy does at Australian Poker Schedule. You can check his stuff out on Instagram and YouTube and Facebook, but he loves the Instagram reels, and a couple of them have gone viral, and I was sent one yesterday that featured you. Maybe we just don't bring that one up.
Yeah, enough said, really. Enough said.
More to the point of how good quality the poker has been. Obviously, Jen involved in that hand, and that Goliath final table was something else. It would have been, can't imagine what it would have been like playing on it, let alone commentating. It was pretty incredible.
This is what we call amongst a couple of us young fellas, we call this a pig open on the button here from Romain with the 860, and absolutely we're flopping to take it down, see about operation here. little did he know he was actually having a value bet.
As Hassan hits the muck pretty quick. I think if you or I were in Hassan's spot, we'd be out of the tournament. Probably would have taken that king-queen there, but Hassan is still alive, and he got himself a pay jump as well.
What are you talking about, mate? King of spades on the river.
Oh, no, you're right.
What are you talking about, mate? We would be flying.
We'd be flying.
We'd be flying.
Oh, I didn't want to rub that in for Hassan, but... As Romain might look to keep the pressure on Jigsy here in the tank with the A6. It's a bit low down, Liam. What do you reckon? Or Romain will pump this one out into a 3-bet. Thoughts?
Look, it's definitely wide, and I think that's why Romain's going to muck it. Definitely wouldn't be against seeing an ace-9 offsuit or even an ace-5 offsuit hand get put into a 3-bet there.
What about Corey here? We're 20 effective. What are we doing with the ace-9 suited off 20 versus Jigsy's? Now, the graphics do say under the gun, but it is the hijack.
I'll be coming in with a call here as well. Performs well post-flop. You're going to dominate some of the openings here. You know, some worse ace-X and some king-9 suited and queen-9 suited, jack-9 suited, 10-9 suited, all in the opening range.
What about this flop, Liam?
Yeah, and also you're going to call the flushes, and here we see a really interesting flop. We see the open-ended 2 overs with the second pair. It goes check. Interesting to see.
It looks like a 3-side on the turn, but it is a 7.
Probably will shut down the action a little bit. Probably swings it a lot more into Jigsy's favour here. Makes Corey's hand seem a little less valuable, but he decides to check it back.
Surprised to see no bet on the flop from Jigsy? Or is this a good hand to balance and check back with? What are your thoughts?
I think Jigsy's thinking is that he doesn't want to get check raised of his equity, but at the same time, even if Corey check jammed here, I don't think I'm ever folding, just because your hand is just never going to be performing badly against a hand that check raises. But I guess he just really wanted to make sure he realised his equity in position.
Backdoor spades as well.
Yeah, exactly, and didn't want to have to fold the hand at any point, which I can understand as well. But I probably would tend more so on the side of betting for sure.
Misty, CVJ's mum's going to be happy with that one as Corey Rivers, 3 of a kind, takes that one down. We could have seen a bit of blood there, but just the way that played out, we didn't, as we are 5-handed here on our feature table, 6-handed on the other table, 2 more eliminations away from our final table, and with these names that we've got left, I wouldn't be going anywhere at all. As just doing a recap from the room. The tournament you targeted, Liam, the $1,500 7 max taken out by Jared Thatcher. How many tournaments have you targeted in your life that have been taken down by Jared Thatcher? It wouldn't be the first time.
How many have I entered that he won? Quite a few. Quite a few I can reel off. I think how many times have we just been having a beer or 2 on the sidelines, watching a feature table, and we're seeing Jared chop up about 70K. I've seen it happen a lot.
I've lost count. And would you believe it, Jared is our 3rd player this week to win 2 trophies.
Wow.
3rd player, Joe Ting, took down the Bankroll Builder and the Empress. Pretty incredible effort there from her. And what about Jared Thatcher taking down the 6 max, 4th in that Goliath, and taking down to the 7 max today. And the other player that took down his 2nd trophy was Josh, who beat Crilly heads up in the Joe Hasham Deep Stack and also won the Poker Shop today. $24,000 week for him as Darren moves all in with Pocket Kings.
Oh no!
Gonna have the queens.
Oh no! Not the queens for 3 bigs and you're behind. Disaster. Oh, and Romain's got ace jack.
So Hassan's got 10 bigs and Darren has 3.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the queen's for 3 and he's not ahead. Romain's got ace jacko in the big blind. I'll tell you what, Ace Jack Go here, in theory, would be a call. I don't think Romain's loving how quickly Slick put his chips in the middle, though.
Ace Jack might go in the middle.
I think it will. I think it will. I don't think Haas is putting the chips in that quickly with an Ace 10. And he's going to be happy to see the queens until the board runs out. But against these two specific hands, Romain would probably actually take his hand back.
I think, yeah. He'd still be above 2 million if he called and lost. And the board is King 8-2. Queen's drawing dead. Stone dead on the flop, and Darren will double up. Huss will be lamenting potentially not taking that king-queen spot earlier. Although it was a good fold at the time. He would have doubled up, but he's still in 8 bigs. Darren more than doubling up now to just under 10 big blinds.
Pretty sick spot. I'm like, surely Ace Jack no good here. Surely.
Has Romain probably repeated what we just thought, that there was no way the Ace Jack could have been good there.
Setup, probably have to call, and then I see, oh, that's the also scenario I don't like to see. Fucking Ace. Yeah. That good, huh? Here we can. Gotta give me Ace Jack now. If it's a Jack, it will still profit.
I don't think Romain would have folded Ace Queen or Ace Jack suited there. Definitely not Ace Queen.
That's how close that spot is, you think?
Yeah. I mean, I think in theory, Romain knows that Ace Jack would be a call there. I just don't think he loved how quick Slick put his chips in. He absolutely put him in very quickly. We saw the graphic weren't even up when the chips were in. It was very quick. What about
this one, Liam? Has it got to go in? As Slick comes with raise.
Polar. Very polarizing. I mean, I wouldn't be happy to pill Ace Queen right now if I was Corey. It would be quite daunting.
But he's going to come with 3-bet. Look to get this in versus Hassan Hyde. And we should be off to the races. You never know with Huss what he's going to do, but I doubt he's going to put in a third of his stack and not put the rest in. I mean, I could be wrong, but I'd be surprised.
I don't think Haas is going to like his hand based on this 3-bet from Corey. You can see he looks very, very uncomfortable, very annoyed. He knows that Corey's not doing this with pocket 5s or a worse hand, so Haas is basically thinking, do I want to take a flip or take an all-in spot against a better pair?
He's put a third of his stack in with 5 bigs behind Liam. What are we talking about here?
Yeah, I mean, I think the play would probably be to jam here pre-flop. I'm just
saying Haas is giving himself a way to get his way out of it.
I think Haas is really, he's thinking that he's not loving how quickly and how strong this move is from Corey.
We've got to put 80k
based on how it's played.
We've got to put a third of our stack into the big blind and big blind ante in the next hand as well. Huss looks like he's got his cards in his hand like he's gonna fold.
He might go set mining here. It's possible.
I mean, I'd just about walk out of the booth if that happened. Liam, there's no way. Huss has got to put this in. We're burning through some time banks here.
He does put it in.
Does put it in. There was no way that was going to get folded, surely.
We got there the long way.
We did.
It probably should have just been a jam and a call. We got there the long way, but alas, we will see 5 cards.
And that might be all she wrote for Hassan Hyde. Looking for double 3-side, but it was a heart and a spade. And that's going to be it for Hassan Hyde as the time bank chips go across the table as he loses the flip. And we are on our stone bubble of the FT. We might have lost someone at the same time on the other table. Let's just check in with the TD. And we have. So that's going to be it. We lost another player at the exact same time. And we're going on a 15-minute break as we count our chip stacks up. We reset everything, do another seat draw. What are you going to do, Liam? Are you going to head out on the town? Are you going to stick around? What's the plan?
I think I might stick around for a bit, mate. Just enjoying the dulcet tones of Braden Jinx and a bit of analysis here.
I am really Glad to hear that, as it looks like we are on a 20-minute break. So if you're a fan of any of these great Australian players, and if you're a fan of Liz Busson, I can report to you exclusively, she still has the chip lead. She has more chips than Romain Morvan, so I wouldn't be going anywhere. 20 minutes time, we'll be back with final table coverage. $46,000 up top in the grind. See you in 20 minutes time.
Yeah, take that. And sliding right.
Yeah, yeah.
It's right.
Thanks, Pedro.
It's right. Oh, okay, it's kind of